Yay! No more countdown. I cannot stand sitting here watching the countdown. Hello. Hi, Doug. Good to have you. I don't know if you noticed, but next week, oh my God, these dogs did not care what I was doing until I started talking. I am not talking to anyone. There's no one here. I need to turn all my stuff down. Making noises. Stop barking! Sorry. I have a toy fox terrier that I found out. I didn't even know what he was when we got him. They like to bark, but from far away. He's in the bedroom barking, not out here trying to keep me safe or any of that. Hey, Tony. Well, we've all been in the chats a lot tonight, haven't we? Man, we're all in the chats Friday night. So I don't know. I saw a lot of people that were live too, when right before I came on, I was jumping in on. There's no way. I've tried to not be on certain times. That's why originally a long time ago I picked Saturday night late. I can't do that anymore. If you don't know, most of you do. Now I work Saturday and Sunday night, so it's Friday night or nothing. Because this wouldn't be any fun during the day. So how's everybody doing? Hey, A girl. Yeah, I know. I was like, we're all just stalking each other through the chats tonight. Oh my goodness. I feel so bad for Dusty. I know he doesn't want his channel to suffer, but you got to take care of your stuff too. My channel, I almost said it, but I didn't want to say it to him. My channel suffers when I don't protest. If I go a week or 2 weeks for weather or whatever reason and I don't protest, I lose subscribers because my channel is a protest channel. So because of the weather of the fall and winter, and then I lost 60 or 70 subscribers. Then after I spoke out, I lost about 30 more. But it's funny. I think I've had more people in my chats. So they say the subscriber count isn't that big of a deal. Hey, Eric, how are you doing? Hey, chat mama, how are you? I'm getting used to it. I'll get it. I was typing scooter mom and then I backtracked, deleted it earlier. So, anyway, Doug, I was telling you. So next week I have scheduled conspiracy theories part 2 because we talked about the one subject for most of that time. I kind of want to do next week. I kind of want to let people bring conspiracy theories that they've studied or is interest. So we'll do a few different ones. I hope that's the plan anyway. So let's see. Did I get everybody? I think so. Oh, we got 10 in here already. Woo! Check that out. I do seem to get more in here on Friday night. I think Saturday night late, people don't. They don't want to stay up late. Hey, Anthony. How are you doing? So, just to catch you up on the doings of my life. So, if you go to my, now they don't call it community tab anymore. They changed it, but I still call it that. I showed you a few weeks ago a tree fell on my house, my truck, and my camper. And we thought there was a hole in the roof. Then we thought there wasn't a hole in the house roof. There is a hole in the house roof, but it's cheaper for my husband to just buy some shingles and fix it. It's not that bad. The truck is in the shop with, we thought, minimal damage. They said, oh, a lot of these scratches can be buffed out. I'm like, okay. They come back with over $4,000, but half of that was labor. So the camper was totaled. We've had it for 5 years. It's still fairly new for a camper, and most of the tree damage and weight of the tree ended up on the top of the camper, and the weight and the air conditioner, the roof, everything was just destroyed. And they said if it gets down to the decking, you got to take off the whole roof and redo it, and that totals the camper because the labor involved is astronomical. Now, what's weird, which never happens when you ever get anything totaled, if you know, unless you have gap insurance, which I don't even know if we did or not. On the car, we didn't. Way back in May when we had hail damage, we had this car that got totaled, but we still owed. We kept it, so we had to pay a salvage fee and what we owed on the loan. It didn't pay off the whole loan because it was an older car that we financed, an old Honda Accord for my son. So that was cool. We just kept paying the payments till it was paid off. This time, never happens, knock on wood, we actually got some money back. It hasn't come to us yet, but we're getting money back. I was like, I thought campers depreciated too much to ever be worth, what you owed on it. I was like, wow. Yeah, that's what I said, Anthony. A blessing in disguise. Yeah. Too green in everyone's stream. That's cool, Anthony. That's cool. Let's see if I missed anything because when I start talking, I get really involved. What I missed? George Foreman. Did he? No, I didn't see that either. I haven't really been in the news, so. Oh, I know who he is. I think everybody knows who he is. He was, just from them commercials alone. I always wanted one of those grills. Never did get one. I wanted it to use just at home. So we're in a rental. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you about the rental in a minute. That thing is an alien spaceship. So, because my truck is 12 years old, and it's the base model. And the only thing that doesn't work right in it is the radio. But it's been a really good truck. Oh, did you really? Yeah, I know. They do work. Yeah, he always seemed like he was, seemed like a good guy for the most part, for what we know. Yeah, they're healthy. I still might get one. I'm sure they're still for sale. So, wow. That's a long time. They've been around a long time. Hey, Minnie, how are you? I really got to get one then. So I'm looking for a new one. We already, if you guys had heard me talk, I wanted to trade it in because it's a pool type and it's big. I got a huge one because the plan was to move into it full time. So it was 33 feet long and had 2 slides. I had an island in the kitchen because my thing was I wanted a big kitchen. If you've ever seen those camper kitchens, which literally are a stove and a sink and no counter space, I'm not having that. Not having that at all. So I got something on my screen. Hold on. What is that? I don't know what that was. Oh, wow. So the only one I found that I liked, and I did that too fast again. I kind of do it fast because everybody's in the chat right now, so I don't think about it. I need to try to do that longer. Chat mama got on me about that. I try to remember. But the only one I found right now that was it was only a couple years old, and it was a really good price, but it's in Idaho. Man. So what it was is my truck was getting too old, and it was either traded in on something we could drive, a Class C, and I'll tell you the prices. So we were paying with insurance on the camper. Let me add up. About $435, $440 a month. Okay. The truck got paid off last summer, but we were having both payments, but it was a used truck, so it wasn't that high. But to get a new truck, here's the thing. They lied to us. The people that sold us the truck and the people that sold us the camper both said this truck would pull this camper, and we come to find out it wouldn't. Thank God we never went anywhere far. We only went like in the area because Tom could never get time off. So we really never had it out very much. It was kind of sad. So to buy a new truck is like what, $700-800 now plus the $435. Yeah, not doing that. So this particular camper at this particular price was going to be around 600 and something a month, period. So if you add 804, or let's say 700 and 400, was that 11 versus 6 something? See the difference? That's why originally we didn't want a Class C, because we didn't want another engine to have to take care of and maintain. Well, now that the truck is getting as old as it's still in good shape. She's running great. Every time I get in there, I'm like, thank you, you're so good. Keep running, do good. You know, you're a great truck. We'll keep you maintained. Just keep running. We'll keep her as long as she'll keep moving. So the kind of camper, the Class C, that I have things in my head that tick boxes. Sometimes in a Class C, the bed has a slide out and slides in, and the bathroom is at. So you're looking at the back from the front, from the side to side. The bathroom's at the end of the bed, which makes it very tiny. You have to fold the mattress, so you have to have a special mattress that folds. Don't want that. So I don't want a folding mattress. I want at least one slide. I want a dinette and a couch, and I want a big kitchen. Those are all hard things to find. So when we are ready to buy, we're going to have to travel, I think, because Texas just doesn't have the models that I want. We're still talking about the George Foreman girls here. Am I? Did I? I am. I do. I get into, that's the way I've always been. I get on very narrow bandwidth in my brain. It's hard for it. I used to be able to multitask, at work and stuff. But since then, no, not so much. I'm also, that's why I have a hard time looking at the chat when I'm talking to somebody on the street, because I have to look at somebody's face when I'm talking to them. A lot of that is because I have hearing loss. So I have to literally watch somebody's mouth when they're talking to make sure that I'm hearing things correctly. That's part of it. I didn't know why I was doing it, but then I found out I had hearing loss in one ear. But yeah, I know. You guys are making me want one now. That's why I liked it. I wanted the indoor outdoor. I wanted to be able to use it in the house for steaks and stuff. My husband loves to cook steaks more than burgers. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. We are slowing down. I'm going to have to hire somebody to help me around this house. This house has gotten away from me, and it's depressing. I'm really upset about how my house is. I used to have a house cleaning business in the early 90s. So not having if I clean one room, then the other rooms have to suffer, because I can only do so much at a time with my back. Oh yeah, that was another reason I wanted it. Yeah, we still might. But anyway, my goal was to get the Class C, and if you guys remember, it's because I wanted to do a tour of the orgs and maybe get a couple people go with me, help me with gas. Well, now I have a job. I haven't had a job in August. It would be 15 years. And now I'm like, I can't do this. I have a job. I can't do that. I have a job. And it's a new job, so you can't call off. And I work by myself. So it's a big deal to call off my job. And I work a 12-hour shift. So to cover that with the other employees, they would have to really work overtime to cover me. Ooh, Amazon. Really? Where's my phone? I haven't looked at them in a long time. And I wanted one for when we go camping too. And we can still go camp. What I want to do with it when we get it is park it up in Waco where we work, and then have maybe a good weekend camping out, and then go to work and not drive a 2-hour round trip, both of us at the same time, and just sleep in the camper during the day. Hi Adam. I've never heard of that one. Are you being funny? I'm pretty gullible. Was that you, Doug, that got me about the camper the other day? That my husband said you guys said I didn't get it. I didn't get it. It went right over my head. So I was talking about wanting a Class C, and was that you, Doug? Yeah, yeah. So he said there's going to be a Class C coming up for sale in LA. And I just said, "Oh, really? Email me, let me know." And my husband popped in the chat. It wasn't live, it was just a comment. He said, "I don't think she got it." And I didn't. I was like, "Ew, no. Ew. No. Heck no. Heck no. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That's gross." Let me see if I can find. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can find that floor plan I was looking at. It was a Jayco. I know it was a 2024. The only thing it didn't tell me was, holy moly. Okay, I said class. No, Class C. Here we go. Let's see if I can find it. It was. Oh, it was a. Was it a Greyhawk? Oh, really? I got to put in my email just to look. Fine, whatever. Just to look at the brochure, they want all my. Let's see. Sure, why not? Area cannot be blank. Oh, just to look at a brochure, they want all my information. I should have put fake stuff in. Now they'll spam me. Is this it? No. This it? No. Yes. Oh no, this is it. Well, sort of. No, that's not it. I'm not gonna look at that one. Anyway, the one I'm looking at, if you know anything about campers, they, like I said, they've got the stove, and it's like a catty corner with the sink. The one I want, the kitchen is all along the wall. It's long, and then your dinette and your couch is on the other side, and in the bedroom you had a nice sized big wardrobe. There's a lot of there's a lot less storage in the Class C. No, I do not want something that old. And you know what? I don't know. I don't watch his channel. I happened to tune in the day he bought it and was driving it home, and I thought he got kind of a good deal on it. But did he ever wipe it down or wash it? Because I bought our first little camper was a 16-foot 1984 little camper that we didn't get to use that often. We ended up selling it when the kids were young. And the first thing I did is sanitize the crap out of that thing. Because I bought it in 99 and it was an 84. But come to find out, I got screwed because one of the water lines was burst. So I couldn't hook up the water to it. So we used it a few times, and then I sold it to somebody at church whose son was a little bit older than my son, and he was going to go to college. Now this boy was over 6 feet tall, and they were really handy, and they fixed it all up. They made it really nice, and he took it to college and lived in it in college. And I'm like, man, I don't know how he's going to sleep in that bed. He's longer than that bed. The chaise bucket. Yeah. Hey, David. Where is it? Look. Out there. So I got my $2. I need to actually, I'm never in here anymore. brain delay. Oh, I got brain delay all the time. So I raised my table up to try to center everything because I was putting these shims under it to raise it up. It's a little bit harder to type on it, but that's okay. I know. See, I didn't even know that because when I clicked in, I wasn't really paying that much attention to what everybody was doing. But I think I got it too high because when I lean forward, now I'm all low. Ugh, that's, oh God. If I had been there, I would have had one of those big sanitizer bottles and had made everybody, because I'm a germaphobe and I was like that before COVID. What got me to be a germaphobe was first working in food service, but secondly, when I had to train every year so many hours to be registered home daycare, and we did cross contamination because you're changing diapers, you're fixing food, and so now it's like always on my mind. So that stuff grosses me out. You just wouldn't know. No joke. No joke. Yeah, that's what I do, chat mama. That's what I do. That's why I'm right now. I don't have it with me, but yeah, when I want to type a lot, that's what I do. So it'll be fine, and I won't be kicking it as much. So I can sit back here with the keyboard down here, and I don't have to worry about it. So yeah. Oh, ugh. I couldn't work there. Oh, okay. Um. Oh, whoops. Say, I went to click something. Hey, Cinderella's here. Hello, hello, hello. Talking about my first world problems. I'm like, oh darn, I gotta buy a new camper. I don't know. I have looked at a couple of smaller travel trailers that our truck could tow. Tom wants to build out a bus, and I'm like, I can't even get him to help me around the house. Do you really think he's gonna have time to be building out a bus? We couldn't do that until he was fully retired, and because he only has one. It would take us 10 years. So no, I said if he wants to do that later after he's retired and we're in the Class C and we're full-time RV, then we'll talk about it. Plus, we need to have a good sizable chunk of change in the bank because you can't finance an old school bus. You got to go buy it outright at an auction or something. Trust me, I've done my due diligence on these things. I've been following vans and school buses and Class C's for years. Yeah. Did I say it wrong? Yeah, that actually about my grandmother had almost the same RV that he has when I was growing up. Yeah. We tent camped when I was young. When the kids were in, I was a Girl Scout leader, or I'm trying to remember how many years. About 7 years, I think. And then I was also involved in the Boy Scouts. I was so my son was in a big troop, and a couple of the parents broke off of the troop. And I kind of liked the idea of a small troop. So we followed. Well, that also meant there weren't that many parents. So guess who was the one that went on the weekends to help chaperone? Because the Boy Scout leader and assistant leader, whatever, they were married. So there had to be a third person there. So I had to go. In Texas, in the summer, in a tent. Yeah. The Girl Scouts, when school let out, we quit. It was too hot to camp for us. We're done. Hey, Papa Smurf. And this guy, the guy that ran it, he was all prepared. He had water tanks in the back of his truck so we could go fill it. So we could we went camping in places that were not campgrounds because he brought water. And we didn't have the internet back then. This was the 90s, early 2000s. And so I didn't know you could make a swamp cooler for a tent out of a cooler full of ice and a fan. Boy, if I'd have known how to do that, I'd have been golden. Oh, okay. Now my grandmother loved to camp her whole life. That was all she wanted. She always tried to have a job where she could either get an extended vacation in the summer or she had summers off. And she saved all year. She grew up during the Depression. She was born in 1921, so she was a penny pincher and she saved everything. So she saved and all year just to go camping in the summer. And so that's where I got the bug from. So early when I was young, we would sleep in tents, we would fish, all that. And then she had a pop-up camper. So we kind of evolved. So then she was in a pop-up camper. And then she got the motorhome exactly like Chumley's. The bed over the cab. It only had a dinette. I can't even remember if it had a bathroom. It's been that long. Last time I was in it, I was 14. So her husband at the time stole it. That was the one and only thing she cared about. And when he just up and left one day, and he took the camper and towed his pickup truck behind it and took all the tools out of the shed, which were not his. They belonged to her husband who passed away. And he didn't have any claws on the house because her and Grandpa Wolf built that in the 1940s. Took her camper and she was devastated. Ooh, bed. Ooh. We thought about building something on the back of our truck. I've watched those people too. You're shy and bashful. You sound like the dwarves in Snow White. Oh, they had fun names though. The Smurfs had fun names too, though. But you have to only be one, I think. You can't be both. An F-250 diesel with a Fleetwood cab over a bed camper. Email me, Doug. Email me. Ooh, that would be fun. I could live in the boondocks. I really could. Email me. I'm willing to travel because Texas just doesn't have the right models that I'm looking for. Yeah, here. So you have to go. Let me know what they're selling it for, or give them my email. Never know. Oh, no. No. Yes. No. AC is a must. Well, to be honest, I don't plan on, when we go full time, especially, yeah, we'll need it here. I don't plan on being anywhere I need an air conditioner. They call it chasing 70. I'll be chasing 65. I don't care if I have to go spend half the year in Canada. I will. Uh-oh. Somebody's getting timed out. Woo! That's a long way. I'm liking this one that's in Idaho. If I thought we could make it happen, but I think we want to wait a little while. With my new job, we want to go a little while without the payment, pay off a few credit cards first. I really want to get one now, but with me working, like I said, the only thing we could really do with it is weekends, and our weekends are midweek. But it would be worth having. Like I said, we could actually save money on gas, because on weekends, me and my husband are both driving to Waco and back the same night, because I have to be there at 6 p.m. and he doesn't have to be there till 10. And then at 6 a.m., we're both leaving work at the same time and have an hour drive. So it kind of sucks. But if we were staying closer, which is what I've been telling him, there's a really nice RV resort not very close to where he works. I'm like, you could go drop me off, and in the morning we could ride home, and we wouldn't be having it. So it's about 60 miles one way. So it's 120 miles round trip for both of us. It's 240 miles. So we could drop that to 22 miles instead of 240 miles for the weekend. Yeah. Hey, MLH, how are you? Yeah, give me the email. You never know. My husband is calling me. He knows I'm on. Oh, he hung up. I think he knows. Let's see. I'll ask him what's up. He probably figured it out when I didn't answer. Sexy can? Okay. That's cute. We're talking RVs right now. You never know what we're going to talk about. A tree destroyed my travel trailer, and I'm looking for a new one. Tentatively looking, not really serious. But if I run across a good deal, I can't pass it up. Oh, poor Papa. You're just being wronged all over, aren't you? But I really like this one in Idaho. I did text them. In fact, did they get back with me? I did text them because it didn't have the mileage on it. Oh, my phone's about to die. Hang on. Oops. I'll plug that sucker in. Uh-oh. Yeah, sorry to hear that. That's not fun. Let me see if they texted me back. They said they were going to text, not so much email. Nope. Didn't get nothing back. You'd think they would. No, I can't do that. I can't demod her, no. She's like my co-host on the channel. I can't do that. You guys should get along. Doug, are you serious? I'm not going to highlight that. Are you being serious or are you joking? Doug likes to joke. Video game show. What did I miss? Oh, sorry. I got that still up. That sounds like fun. I like when people do me joke. You already got me once. I'm not letting you do it again. You guys have got to see my dog. She's sitting here going, the big one. Are you wanting to go outside? Go lay down. You've been out. Go on. Go lay down. I'll let you out in a minute. Go on the blankie. I keep blankets all over the couch they lay on. Because she gets stinky sometimes. She needs a bath. She just got one, though. Have you been online that long, MLH? Dang, I've only been on here a year. Seems like forever now. Yeah, I tried to do a stream about the concert I'm going to next week to J-Hope. He's part of a bigger group that's not, he's touring solo right now. It's going to be fun. We could have taken the camper. Now we have to get a hotel room, which costs a lot more. But I'm not sad. I don't know if any of you know about San Antonio, but it's famous for the river walk. It's the person that supposedly, if I can remember right, because we took a boat ride and they tell you all the history of everything. And the guy that, what do they call them, the guy that designed the river walk, it's really tropical, and the buildings look a lot like New Orleans style. He did some sort of designing in New Orleans, and it's below ground. So even in summer, it's nice to go there because it's cooler because you're below ground. And I've never done this. We've always done the Econo Lodge and all that, but I had a traumatizing experience. So now I have to be bougie, and I only go to highly rated hotels, and I pay the premium because it was traumatizing, and I can't do the cheap motels anymore. I can't do it. So I had to splurge, and we're actually on the river, or the canal river walk. It's amazing. And I think I got river views, which I've never been able to do before. So yeah. So San Antonio is about 2.5 to 3 hour drive from here. And we used to do it as a day trip. So we'd drive down, we'd park right near the Alamo. Anybody that ever came to visit me from out of town, family or friends, we always took them to the Alamo. You got to see it. And then literally right across the street, it's a street that you can walk across. I think it's blocked off to traffic. And you go through this hotel, or you can find other ways to go down. And so you go down into this river walk, and it's, I can't believe I've never been pushed into the canal. What they did is, it's a river, but they cut a canal kind of through, and it's got restaurants, and like, there's a River Center Mall. There's missions and stuff you can go see, but honestly, I've never gone anywhere but just the Riverwalk and the Alamo. And what's cool is the Alamo's free. The only thing if you go as a day trip, the only thing you really have to pay for is your meal. And usually around 5 o'clock, towards the end of the day when we were tired, we would get on this boat ride that we got a discount because we were military. And back then it was $6 to $8. And you would go the whole river walk, and you'd have a tour guide that would tell you about all the cool stuff. So, have you ever seen pictures of it? I want to go at Christmas. What happened? You lost your mod. Yeah, I have mods that early on, I made mods because they were always here. I have such a small chat. I can usually handle it myself. But but I don't know if I could be a mod for somebody bigger, because I don't know if I could keep track. And I can't be relied upon to be available all the time. I was never a mod of anybody. I saw Diana do some modding tonight. She blocked somebody or put him in timeout. I said, "See, you know how to be a mod." She used to say she was only a mod in name only. Okay, bye, MLH. We'll see you later. I've been watching your lives recently. You may have done one recently. There are 2 or 3 I watched. I mainly just lurked. I can't remember if I chatted or not. But Oh, okay, Doug. Oh, my neck. I missed my trigger. I forgot to call them back and schedule my trigger point injections for my neck. I need to do that. Um, Dusty was saying earlier that because he was by himself, and he was like, I can just talk into the chat and talk about bands. I'm like, that's what most of us do. Not all of us get a group all the time. It was fun on Elrich's birthday. We had people drive in. We had a group. That was fun. Yeah. Yeah. It can be a lot. Yeah. Yeah, and that's me too. This What's sucking about being up at night and sleeping during the day, if I don't wake up by a certain time, it's too late to make phone calls. It's too late to, do business type things. Because even if I wake up at 3 or like 4, it takes me a while to get, like, I have to take the meds and get moving and get some coffee. And by the time I'm ready to go, everybody's closed. That's the only thing that sucks. So when I went live this last time, I had to get up after just a few hours sleep. Okay, that's cool. Because we just had to go to Austin to sign the paperwork for the camper. I forget what I was going to say. In Austin. I'm like, the closest, you don't have an insurance office closer? Guess not. So we had to drive down there anyway. So I'm like, well, we're here. Let's go pop into the org for a few minutes and shut them down. And then we had some visitors that happened to be in town. He had emailed me and told me he'd be in town, but we hadn't scheduled like a lunch. We were supposed to like schedule a lunch, but they have family and friends in the area, so they had other things to do. But so I'm sitting there, I'm about ready to go, and they're talking about, well, so and so's parking right now. And I was like, are you here? They were. So we went to the coffee shop for a little while, and then they had to go. But it was fun. It's always fun to meet people from the chat, because, you guys know what I look like. You see me all the time. But you guys, meeting you guys is fun. So that was cool. We didn't actually have lunch. They just wanted coffee. And so we went to the coffee shop next door until they closed at 5, which I didn't know. But that was fine because they had to go. They had things to do. But it was still cool. We had a fun chat. Like I said, it was cool to meet people. They actually, I forget what I was going to say. It went right out of my head. I hate it when it does. Hey, Journey. I saw you pop on a couple times earlier. I popped in. I'm not quite sure what you're doing with the map. I don't know what's going on, so I don't know. I'll have to jump in one time and ask questions. Oh, Tracy, I don't even know if I said hi to you. I'm sorry. Hello. Did I? I might have been talking and not paying attention. I know you're doing stuff with maps and stuff, Journey. So I popped in today, and you were all those dots on the maps actual organizations? That was a lot. You were showing like the West Coast, and there was a lot of dots. But I didn't stay that long. And if I wasn't, I was doing some other stuff, or I would have stayed and asked you some questions. Oh, okay, Eric. Thank you. That's cool. Okay. That looked like a lot. Oh, thanks, Tracy. But that looked like way more than I expected. Especially like in California. Because when we were living in Monterey, I didn't think there was an org close to us. That's why we never got involved. We saw the commercials and Tom thought it was interesting, Scientology. Oh. Yeah, got to worry about those rains. Tree might fall on you. Really? So, what are they all pins of? Exactly. Just a question. So I know what I'm looking at. Okay. I understand. I slept all day, so I'm good. Was there? See, we were there 90 to 93. He was there a year before me. I didn't get there till 90. And we remembered seeing the commercial and we were like, Scientology, Tom Cruise is Scientologist. That sounds like fun. Maybe we should check it out. Because we were young and silly and thought different things were cool. I'm so glad we never got to check it out. Hey, yeah. Me too. Me too. Hi, Mr. Fraud. How are you? And I'm told I may have, this person could be a Mr. or a Mrs. So I'm just going to keep calling you Mr. Fraud until you tell me different. Oh, okay. So you're extending. Okay. Got it. Wonder why there were so many. Property, empty building, front groups, wise businesses, closed NC schools, all of it. Good. Because I want to know, especially the front groups and the businesses. Because I already know that. Have you guys seen people advertising Balance of Nature fruits and veggie capsules? Well, even before I found out that was Scientology owned, I had already seen that the FDA had, like, I can't remember the word. I don't know if it was censored or they smacked them on the hand and warned them that they were, because they couldn't prove what was in their stuff. They gave them like a certain amount of time to fix it, and they told them they couldn't say certain things that they were saying because it was misleading. And I'm like, at that point, I don't even care if they fix it. They already proved they weren't trustworthy. And it saddens me that I see really big creators and channels and commercials, saying, oh, these are great, you should take them. You need to look into the business. I do. Everybody, if I buy anything, I'm taking into my body, especially. Oh, Tracy, thank you so much. That's so awesome. That will, it's, I haven't been able to figure out how to look when somebody gifts memberships. I can only see membership. I'm sure there's a way, but 5 memberships sponsors one of my trips to Austin. It covers my gas and part of my parking. So thank you very much. So my next trip is covered. Thank you very much. Oh, I love Elvis. I've loved Elvis since I was a kid, when he was still alive. Hey, Buttercup. Boy, we must be the Friday night crew because we've been in all the chats. I don't know exactly what that means. Are we dedicated, or we just have no life on Friday night? Don't tell me that, Doug. Don't tell me that. I don't care. He doesn't get to steal that from me. No, he probably doesn't like that song. He doesn't want to know the words to that song. I saw Dodge's update today on that. Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, you're out there then. I've driven through Wyoming. It was pretty and very, not a lot of people. Definitely someplace I would like to stay. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, me neither. God, I hope not. No. Hey, Susie. Hello. Oh, we've already figured out the whole group's been in all the chats tonight. We've been stalking each other all night. Let's see. That makes sense. They're always going to exaggerate. Always. Poor Papa. He gets wronged. A whole 4,000? That's amazing. My husband, I don't know what. He was in a one traffic light town, and the traffic light went off at 6. It went yellow flashing. God, I'm trying to. You know what? I'm going to look that up. Hey, Lori Marie. How are you? Let's see. Population of. I've never actually looked that up before. It's probably more now because it's bigger. No, that can't be right. 309. Wow. I didn't know it was that small. 309. I got to tell him that. I don't even think he knows that. Actually, it might be less now. I don't know. I got to tell him that. I looked up your town. It's 309. I do know that they didn't have their own mailboxes. They had to go to the post office and get their mail. They didn't even deliver it. So you had your address and then you had a box number. Where are we? No, you're here. I can see you, Journey. Oh my gosh, y'all are crazy tonight. Wow. So like I said, you got more people than my husband's town did. There's definite shenanigans going on tonight. That's actually less than where I live. So I live near the base. So you have the base and you have two towns next to the base. On the other side of the base, there's another town. And oh, he dinged me back. Let's see. It's Mayberry, he said. It definitely is. Everybody knew what everybody else was doing. He could never get in no trouble because they would tell his mom. No, I don't recognize that one. The Indiana one. I don't recognize that one. You might have to tell us that one. Tom was walking through when, I don't know if you were watching Dusty. He was talking about bands and lyrics and bands that my husband loves. He likes all the bands of the 70s. And I do too, but he likes some more than I do. Like Twisted Sister, he really likes Twisted Sister. I like them. I like some of their songs. So, yeah, he is posting lyrics, but I don't know what the Indiana song is. Okay. I think I've lost control of the chat. Oh my goodness. So Tom, the way we met in high school, so because of his small town, he got bused into my high school. And I lived in what is now a suburb, but at the time was a hick town. It was literally surrounded by cornfields. My high school was surrounded by cornfields. Yes, poor me. Gosh, I hope so. No, it's in the fridge. It's ready to go. Just if it gets close, I need to know because I can't pop it while I'm live because I'll probably put an eye out. So I'm going to pop it and put I have these wine stoppers I can put on it. So, no, not soon enough. Right now, everything got, what Dodge said today was there was, what do they call it? Postponements or something. It was just rescheduled for farther down the line. So, nope, not till he's driving out of town. Like I said, I don't wish the guy to go to jail. I don't. I just, there's so many people that left the protest movement. You know, it went from a whole group to one person creating havoc. And, you know, there have been people that have left unsub from me because I finally spoke out. And I'm like, look, the guy is just mean to people. He's just downright mean. Oh, continuance. Thank you, Buttercup. Thank you. Continuance. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Me too. Some do, you know. But, you know, I've seen people on the other side trying to say that if he loses, that it's going to hurt the protest movement. I'm like, not really, because the rest of us aren't doing those things. Okay. Alrighty. Go have fun. That's a thought. Hadn't thought about that. Yeah. See, I try not to watch that stuff or go there because he's the only one. He chased everybody else away. I didn't really want to get into this that much, but that's the way I feel about it. Hi, Sarmento. We need a break. Oop, you guys are going too fast. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch a ton of the LA protesters because they had a big chat. So I would go to the smaller ones. And then the next time I'm looking, people are gone. I didn't even realize what exactly had happened because I wasn't tuned in on what was going on there. Oh, because they want to. You can tell watching somebody what the context is, but if you want to see it from a skewed point of view, you will. That's the thing. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Oh, that's not good. So I don't want that either. That's why if I do end up on a chat somewhere, like I see people in the other chats that are in chats that I'm in, and I don't say anything. If they're over here being normal and they're not being hateful, then you can't sit here and draw a black and white line. It's too hard. street vacation thingy. I may not know what you mean. I get, why there are some, here's the thing. We have personalities, all different personality types, walks of life, people that have had different experiences in life. And I can understand why people would take a hard line with some behavior. I get that. And that's fine if you want to do that. The only point that upsets me is when people get heated about it and they attack you about it because you don't see their point of view. If you want to unsub and not support people, more power to you. But you can't hit people over the head with your ideals and want them to think the same. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that she did that because it's too hard to know. And the other thing was, early on, when we were getting banged over the head for, if you don't take a side, you took a side. A lot of us didn't want to take a side. I was like, I'm still this way. I don't know all the information, all the ins and out, who said what to who pissed who off, who's upset with who. I don't know that stuff. We would need one of those murder boards with the red yarn, trying to keep track of who's upset with who. That's where I draw the line. I can't get involved. Sure, Buttercup. I'm not highlighting some of these comments because I don't want people to. City council meeting, Clearwater. Oh, okay. Oh, that the Clearwater crew didn't speak up about the street. Well, I'll tell you why. It's not that big a deal. So what? They're buying a street in between two of their properties. Who cares? And it was written into it, hopefully they really mean it, that if they don't construct said structures in a certain period of time, they can't buy the street because they know they make promises. So if that's built into it, I mean, it's not that big a deal. I mean, if somebody wants to protest over there, you could still stand at either end of the street. So it wasn't, to me, that big of a deal about them getting that street. That's exactly it. Since we're talking about it, I'll get into it. What the hell? Why not? We're here. That's what I did. And the thing is, and I'm going to tell you my point of view, and I'm way behind in the chat, y'all. Sorry about that. And I don't want to bring us down. We try to have fun on Friday night. Doug's already trying to change the subject. We will in a second because we're not going to stay on this. I don't want to. We've all talked about it a ton. And what was I going to say? It's this comment. So I'm just some old woman in Texas who wanted to make a difference and decided to start a channel and wanted to be a part of a movement against a horrible entity that hurts people. That's my motivation. My motivation wasn't to come in here and make friends, although that's been nice, or to even worry about how much support I was going to get. I didn't and can't worry about the whole community and who's upset with who. I said that earlier. So, what I was getting at is when things started to get where people started to disagree with each other, I didn't feel that I had any skin in that game. I don't want to say it that way. I didn't feel I had enough involved in those people in these other cities to even understand why or have a say. So I stayed out of it. And I stayed back and tried to let the people that had to deal with those people on a regular basis, in person, over there, kind of figure out their way, Yeah, many. Yeah. Oh, Tracy, I'll tell you about the street. They haven't actually bought it yet, but it's not a big deal. Yeah. See, you guys even know stuff I don't. That there were some chats that weren't happy because I don't go into. I don't have the time to go to every chat and every channel. Nobody does. But I might. So how many channels do we have now? I don't even know. So I may have time to maybe go into chat of say 10 channels, right? Let's say I know people left, but at one time we had about 100 protest channels, and we had about 200 people on that sptv.space list. And that was ex-members, protest channels, and peripheral channels that supported the movement. Now, I think since then we've lost people. So, I mean, when you've got that many channels, nobody, unless they're very involved, and I know there are people that are or can keep track, I'm not going to know everything that is said. And I'm not going to take somebody's word for, well, so and so said this and did this to this person, and this person did this to this person over here. I can't do it. It's physically impossible for me to know what is going on. And it's not fair when we can't do that. I know some of you keep up, but so somebody wants to come at me and say, well, you have this person in your chat, or you're in this person's chat. I'm like, I don't even know half the time what the heck they're talking about. What? The fake KK. All right, you're gonna have to tell me about that. I'm trying to keep it. Yeah. So I'll just go back to this since I'm behind. So what it is in Clearwater, Scientology owns already 2 plots. All right. They're going to build some big hall on one side and landscape the other side. And in the middle, there's this short little tiny street. You can literally go all the way around that property on other streets. They want to spend $1.3 million and buy this little tiny street. It will have no impact on the way they build because that street was still going to be there and they already have the lots. I guess people were upset about that because nobody went and spoke about it. Well, the thing is, it also was built into the contract. If by a certain year or date, they don't have at least 80% construction done, they won't be allowed to buy the property. And it was said that they probably won't build this hall. It's a way for David Miscavige to get more donations. But either way, even if they buy this little street, there's streets that go on either side. There's streets that go behind it on the other side. It's not going to cause any issues. All it will do is not allow somebody to protest right in front. But you can protest at either end of that street as people drive in. So it's not that big a deal, I don't think. Is it because of the KK in Austin that passed away? Because that's kind of rude. Yeah. Yeah. What I think is going to happen is even before they buy it, they're going to act like they own it and try to give anybody problems for being on it. Yeah, Lori Marie, that's the thing is, you know, there are things that there are people that I'm still finding out. So it's just really difficult to keep track. Well, I'm the same way. Yeah, that's the way we want to be. I don't want to have to worry about who's talking about who in what chat. I just don't. That's not what I came here for, and that's not what I want to do. Well, that's good. Because I'm the same way. Even if I've seen you be some away, unless you're being like nasty and hateful in another chat and I've seen it, that's different. But if you're in my chat and being normal and not causing problems, I was in a chat today that I saw somebody say something mean about me. Ignored them, didn't talk to them, just I talked to the other people in the chat. It's going to happen. I kind of watched out. I was kind of curious. Were they going to say something to me? They didn't. They think I didn't see it. Oh, Google. Oh, Google what? Tell me the name again. Oh, GeoTracker. Oh, I used to do geocaching. But yeah, he did. He did. But by that time, here's another thing that they didn't realize. By that meeting, they'd already made up their mind. Nothing anybody said was going to change it. Ooh, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. GeoTracker. Okay. I would love to do something like that. A game night. I'm not finding exactly GeoTracker. I'm finding GeoGuessr. Embark on an epic journey. But oh, see, I forget that's who that means. Oh. I only saw him one time. I think he was on Aaron's channel a long time ago. That's the only reason I even know who he is. Other than that, I don't even know who he means. See what I mean? I don't even know. Hey, Cher, I'm behind on the chat. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, she said. Hello. Oh, I like TWSS. That's good too. I'm caught up. Good. All right, how do I get? Let me see. I just did that to get rid of the one. I haven't seen one yet, so I don't watch Streets that much. Okay, I'm caught up now. Yeah, see, I miss all of that stuff. I mean, when you've got people like me, even me, doing a couple hours of here and there, it's hard to keep track. I don't know how you guys do it. I know some of you do. I don't know how you do it. Because there are days, I just go days without looking at anything. Yeah. I just found her. I didn't even know she existed. Oh, I was watching his streams. Wait, like a week ago, I watched a couple. One or two I didn't even chat in. I just listened. That's not, but like I said, I don't even know all the channels. Like Dianetics, I just found her channel. That's why. So I bought a domain name, you guys, because I want to do a website that's like a hub for everything. It's more than a list. It's a calendar of upcoming events. If you're having something you want to put on the calendar, you can. Even if it's just, protesting. I know the other list, it's nice. And that's why I didn't do this. I thought they were doing that already. Hey, Liz. Good to have you. Okay. I vaguely remember what he looks like. It's been like a long time since I saw him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get you. Same thing with fibro. That's another reason I try to stay away from it. And I said that I did before I finally said something. I didn't, for a year, I didn't say anything. And if I did, I tried to keep it vague a couple times, and that was it. But if you look at my small voices should be heard, I said for my own mental health, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to get involved in this stuff. I want to do my thing and go, go to the chats I watch. I go to certain places, channels to get information. And that was it. That's all. I just wanted to be left alone. And they wouldn't. Well, nobody really attacked me straight on, but those of us that wanted to stay out were kind of attacked with, well, if you don't take a side, you took a side. And I did get a couple comments, and I lost a lot of subscribers just because I didn't want to say anything. Then I say something and I lose more subscribers. I don't really care either way. I just want enough to be able to go live. That's it. What? That's something you'll have to figure out, Journey. If it was just something somebody sent to me, I'd probably just ignore it. Because there's something I could say about somebody and I could get spill the tea, but I don't see the point. It's over. It was a while ago. I don't even care. Yeah. And I've had a lot of people say I come to your chat because it's calm and it's not a bunch of drama. And that's the way I want to keep it. Oh, we were talking, I kind of got off of that subject. I felt like when it was Eric, I just happened to jump in. He was already in the middle of what he was saying, but he was like, we're done supporting these people. We're done putting up with the attacks. We're done putting up with the hostility, and we're going to get back to protesting the way we started. And I was all in for that. I'm all in for that. Getting back to what this was all about in the first place. Oh, that's cold. And that's what it is. And yeah, I'm sorry if you're dealing with that, Journey. That's something you'll have to decide. Because I put out an email that somebody sent about, remember that hmm, yeah, the person I dealt with, I didn't see okay, what you were saying, Lori. And then, oh, okay. Mm. See, that's the intricacies of this stuff that's so hard to keep track of. Yes, I don't watch Streets a lot, to be honest, because he's not always doing the protest stuff, and I'm not into the cop watching stuff that much. So I mainly watch his short clips or something. It's one of those. He has a big chat, so I just like I said, I like to support the smaller channels, so that's where I put my time. So that, yeah, I've watched them on replay a few times. I hate watching on replay when they get into something. I'm like, oh, I wish I could comment. Yeah, yeah. That, like I said, that maybe the only thing I could think is you could reach out to the people that think you're aligned with that person, but sometimes it's just not worth. Yeah, bits and pieces of Streets. Me too. When he usually is good about clipping out like 15 or 20-minute videos of his long streams sometimes when it's important. But I've never followed. I followed him early on, But when people started joining him, I started watching they were, like I said, smaller channels. Yeah, he did. I did hear that. But see, I didn't know about all that stuff. It just happened to hit me that day. I knew people had spoken out before. It's just that day it kind of hit me the right way, to where I'd gotten to the same place where I was tired. And I didn't know about a lot of that stuff. I actually didn't know about Eric calling him out last year. I may not have even been watching Eric. I don't remember. Pup Groomer, thank you so much. You do this too much, but I appreciate it. I know everybody likes getting memberships. I think you end up sponsoring my trips to Austin a lot. Yeah, yeah. I like that he gives no F's about a lot of it. Yeah. And see, I learned early on about the titles. The robot yelling. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. Oh, Buttercup got one, I think. Gives you a list, doesn't it? Sometimes. And Liz got one. Tracy, did you get one? Oh, what I did too. I stopped. No, I way back. No, I after the first set of problems, I'm not even sure what actually started it. I think it was right after the encampment, because during the encampment he was saying he needed help, and I was like, I looked at plane tickets. If I could have got a cheap plane ticket, I was going to go help, because he was like, oh, we need help down here, blah blah blah. And that's the way I am. Thank God they were 800 a piece. I was like, nope, not going. And then right after that, when I saw that he had a channel called Streamer Wars, and I watched how he was pitting streamers against each other, I was done then. I'm like, this ain't right. So I think a lot of us did, but we didn't really know how were we supposed to go about it? I mean, at that time, I was a nobody. I had just started my channel, not that many. I mean, what was I supposed to say that anyone would even listen to? So I just kind of held back and tried to stay out of it. Did I miss somebody? Somebody jump in here I missed. If I missed you, let me know. But yeah. Doug, you were smart. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the idea. I really didn't. I didn't think it was necessary. And I thought it was okay when they were just kind of hanging out. But when they brought the tents in, I thought that wasn't a good idea. But what do I know, and what did I have to say? Yeah, I didn't know about any of his background. I won't say that I liked him. I never actually watched his channel much. I would watch the other streamers, and he was there. He was, he dressed up. It was kind of funny. It drew attention. It was theater. But that didn't last long. Wow, was it 9 months ago? Ooh. Wait, wrong one. Me too. I actually was on. I pulled over. I was coming back from Austin, and he was on a stream, and he was talking about he couldn't go there anymore, and he needed help, and he was wanting to keep everybody safe. And my mom gene kicked in, and I pulled over, looked at plane tickets, and then I was on his channel. He says, "Would you think it's too much me wanting to keep everybody safe?" And I was like, "No, it's not. We need to keep everybody safe." That was about it. After that, that's okay. I think that's where it really went wrong. Right. It's not what we started this to do. I agree that the more aggressive protesters were attention grabbing at first, but it's not something that could be sustainable. So I never got on anybody for the way they protested. But and it was funny because early on I had people admonishing me for not being loud enough. And all I said to him was, "Okay, yeah, but look at the amount of people that stop and talk to me." That's the whole thing. That's why I didn't think speaking out was going to do any good, or also didn't want to be involved in it. I just wanted to stay in my lane and do my thing. But it had gone on all this whole year, not the whole year, but it just kept just coming back around and coming back around and coming back around and causing problems. And I watched how many people quit, and it just got to be too much. Pretty much, Doug. Now that we know his background, yeah, Cinderella, for sure. Yeah, I remember Wendell. Oh, I'll go check it out. Yeah, I mean, I can understand people at first not realizing what he was up to and still supporting him, but at this point, I think you kind of know. So I think, to me, I feel that any of the survivors that are supporting him, I feel like the way that they've grown up might have something to do with it. I don't want to put my whole opinion out there because it's just my thought process. But I don't know how you can look at him laughing while people argue and starting a Stream Wars channel and be like, he's doing good work. He was some homeless guy that went after some of the protesters and threatened. I know he threatened Jay, but he'd done something before that. They thought he was the one that attacked, I think, Confident Chris, but they figured out it couldn't have been him when he talked. Chris thought it was him. And then I guess from what I remember, and I was actually watching these streams, he threatened Jay with like a machete or something. And he exposed himself to Becky or Tori, I can't remember which. He was just a gross problem. That kind of makes sense too. Yeah. I was gonna say I shouldn't have said anything. Be glad you don't remember. You remember. Yeah. Becky and Aja. That's right. See, it's so hard to remember. It's so long ago. But I thought, if I remember right, he was sitting in a lawn chair in front of Jay. And Jay asked him, "Who paid you? What did Scientology pay you?" And he said a Big Mac. So I don't know if that was true or not, or he was just messing around. So I'm thing is, I've heard about, oh gosh, I haven't told you about my first day at work yet. I totally forgot about it. So, my husband works in the same area that I do at night in security. And I'm working for the same company, but at a different location. My first night on camera. So, the place I work takes up almost a whole block. And when I do my perimeter walk, I have to do the whole block. And we are literally a half a block from the homeless shelter. So we get a lot of characters. My first night, 3 hours in, I've got somebody behind our truck doing things I didn't want to see. Thank God it was night vision and wasn't very clear. So I take off. I'm trying to get to that area through these gates instead of walking all the way around. And I couldn't get through the last gate. They didn't give me the code, and it wasn't a card reader. So it was right, the fence. So what it is it's not a square. So we have like this alley that goes down beside our fence. And that's where he was. And so I just yelled, "You're not supposed to be back there. I'm coming around." And I strobed my flashlight at him. I ran back inside because they still had some employees around. I said, "Is there another faster way I can get over there without walking all the way around?" He's like, "No, there's really not." So then I looked at the camera. He was gone. Thank God. I did not want to have to deal with him. That was my first night. Then the second night, this flashlight Tom bought me that I had to have a special flashlight. I'm not even going to go into it. The 2 floors, it's a 4-story building. The 2 top floors are storage. And it's an old building. There's no lights up there. So the only light I have is my flashlight. And in the middle of the room in a cement box is the elevator and an exit sign. And I'm behind that box. So there's no light. My flashlight died. It's a rechargeable. It died. I'm like, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, thank God I'm not afraid of the dark. Because anybody else would have freaked the heck out. I'm like, okay, I kind of know where I am. I know the elevator is that way. So I just started going that way. Thank God there's no little things in the way on the floor. Thank God. There's delineated like aisles between all the stuff. So I found my way to the elevator. So that was my first weekend at work. But it was actually a very easy job. And it's really easy. Yeah, I think he should have been too. But I've learned about California law lately, and people are not getting what they need. So, Doug. I see whatever, Doug. Yeah, it's a regular C charger. And what it was is, so I was, okay, it was kind of my fault. I had forgot to charge it at home. So I was charging it at work so I go patrol, then I sit and watch cameras, then I go patrol and I sit and watch cameras. And I kind of decide when I want to do that. And so I was charging it in between rounds and it died. Well, it actually wasn't all me. Because Tom bought this used on eBay. He took the battery into a battery place yesterday and they tested it, and the rechargeable battery is dead. It's not working. It's not holding a charge. But it came with 2 packs that I can put AAA batteries in. And there's another flashlight I want that's $80 or $90. But I'm going to wait for my first paycheck to get that. So I'm just going to deal with the batteries for now. But he says I'm going to go through the batteries pretty quick. Luckily, I don't have to use them, the flashlight everywhere. Just pretty much on the 2 floors above. But so no, it came with a rechargeable battery and these 2 packs that hold AAA batteries. So I have 2, so I can take one out and put one in because they have to be encased. It's an explosive proof flashlight. I have to have a special flashlight because of the fumes. and stuff can catch fire. I didn't get to watch. I was asleep most of the day because of my schedule. I got to go back and see what you were doing today, Jen. The flashlight too. Oh, what'd you do to your foot? Did I miss something? What's going on? What'd you do? I never use anybody's whole name when it's long. Because I don't know how some people can do the highlight thing. I can't. I've tried. My phone won't do it. Oh, that's good. Ow! Jen, ow! 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 Okay, you deserve to have your foot propped up there, girl. Wow, there you go. Just call her Scoot. Yeah, because once I get a name in my head, I'm still Scooter Mom. I'm getting it. Or Scooter. Yeah, I'm just calling you Scoot too. I like that. Yeah, I got that. The desk. I got that. Is it broken? I'm amazed it's not broken. Dang. Damn, you made my foot hurt. My foot hurts. Okay, well, I like calling you that. I'm just used to that. Oh my goodness. Oh. You could kind of tell. Wait, where'd it go? That's the way I am. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you type something so many times, especially in my phone, it pops up. Yeah, you can kind of tell when it's broken. There's a different level of pain involved when something's broken. So, but I think if it's broken, it's excruciating. You just can't stand it. So, hey, Katie Light. Yeah, the desk or her foot. The desk or her foot. Is it broken? How's the desk? I forgot to ask how the desk was. Oh my goodness. You know what I did? So I was talking about this job, right? So I do have to walk. Now, some of you may know the only reason I'm able to do it, I have a pain stimulator in my back. And I have this little iPhone, I don't even know where it is right now, that I control it on. So I had it turned up. I usually just leave it on a setting most of the time, and I don't even bother with it. Half the time it's dead. I got to charge it up. Well, I wanted to have it with me because it's my first time working in 15 years. And so the second night, so I start at 6 p.m. I didn't notice it right away, but about an hour in, and I had done something with the phone till about 11:30. I was in excruciating pain. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't. I was like, I was only able to patrol half a floor, and I'd have to come down and sit, and then go up and do the other half. And finally, at about 11:30, at the controller, and all I've ever touched are the buttons that are plus minus for the level. It goes up to 30. I keep it on like 22. I see this button at the top that's always been green and says therapy on. It was red and said therapy off. My stimulator was turned completely off the whole time, and I was feeling all of it, which I had not felt all of it in a year and a half. And I was like, and by the time I got it turned back on, I was already toast. Oh, I see. Because you were going to drag her there? You should go get it checked out. I know. I hate going to the doctor too. They should. I only broke a little bone behind a toe, and holy crap, they're gonna come get you when you're not looking. Carpool to Jen's house. So I don't know. I think the controller, it was in my bag. I don't know if it got hit. I never touched that button, and I was like, oh my gosh. So hopefully this weekend will be better. Oh, I gotta lean back. It'll start hurting here too. I believe it. She's probably closer than I am. How does that happen? That's bad. Breaking a bone while you sleep. That's what happens when we get older. I was just sleeping and I got an injury. Yeah, my daughter did the same thing. She we have 3 super Walmarts within a 15-mile radius. I'm not joking. That's because of the military base. There's so many people here. And the third one was opening. It was years ago. And she was helping. She got hired on to help open it. So she was constantly walking, just all the time. She was a department manager or something. And she's a fast walker like me. And finally, her foot, a few months in, or a couple months in, her foot was hurting. She went to the doctor and she had hairline fractures in her feet, both of them. But she could only wear a boot on one foot. So she wore the boot on one foot. It got better. She put the boot on the other foot. It got better. And the other one started hurting again. She went like that for 2 years until she finally quit working there. And come to find out, she smokes. I don't know why. The doctor told her if you smoke, it makes your bones soft. I did not know that. I'd never heard that before. Especially where you live. Yeah, I don't want to. So all I did, our laundry room, you're going in the door, right? And the washer and dryer's on the right. Well, it sticks out about this much into the doorway. You know, it's wider than, I don't know who designed this house. And I used to go barefooted all the time. Now I wear slippers with I wear these because because you can go outside. I wear these kind of slippers now. Ain't nothing hurting that. Anyway, I stubbed my toe so hard, it didn't hurt the toe, it broke the bone behind it. That doesn't mean anything. My daughter was walking around on fractures too. You had screws in your ankle? Ooh, that's hard. I kind of get that. She's probably got some Model Ts over there. Yeah, I think all of us. And you know what was bad? I'll bet you know when it's going to rain. know, right? Especially the job I have now. Yeah. Ooh, y'all are making me hurt. Oh my gosh. That's true. Wow. Take care of yourself. I know us moms tend to not want to go to the doctor. We have stuff we need to do. I used to be like that too. I don't have any plates and screws yet. I really hope I never have to. That's probably very true too. Well, I refused to go. I didn't want to go to the doctor summer before last. And for like all the night before, all that night and that day, I kept feeling like I was going to pass out. And I laid down on the bed. I had gotten dressed to go, and I laid down on the bed and I said, I don't want to go. He's like, no, you're going. I could have died if I hadn't gone. I get there and they're like, we're gonna do a blood transfusion. You need 2 units of blood. So my blood pressure was that low. I'd lost blood, and I was shocked. And they admitted me. If he would have given in and not taken me, I would have died. Yeah, the stress fractures. Yep, both feet. Yep, that's what happened to my daughter. Yeah, she finally had to leave that job. Yeah, I know you. Oh, you showed me yours. Ooh, girl. Yep. Hence the scooter. I only love Jen because of Mona. That's not fair. Hmm. Oh, goodness. Oh, you were in? My husband was in. Were you in the army? Now, my husband never went to Afghanistan. He went to Iraq. Actually, 3 times. Twice in the army and one as a civilian. Yeah, I can imagine that. I did not know the barometer could have, I always heard about old people saying, oh, I know it's going to rain. My knee hurts. I never thought much. I just thought it was the damp. But then I had a chiropractor nutritionist tell me that I was having a bad day, and she saw me in a store and she asked me what was wrong. And I told her, we talked for an hour. And she said, we got a low pressure front coming in. I'm like, really? That can affect it? She's like, yeah. My dad had an old barometer in his stuff that I got after he passed. And I put that sucker on the wall, started keeping track. And it's true. If it goes too high or too low, I can feel it. Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's not good either. Those are hard to heal. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, that's why I said sometimes tears are worse. I can imagine. Knock on wood, I don't have migraines, thank God. I have just about everything else except that. I know. That's what I want to do, the chronic pain. I want to do another one where we just talk about the chronic pain because we talked so much about fibro last time. And there's a lot of people that don't have fibro. I have both. I have the chronic pain from injuries, and then I have the fibro too. And then so does Scooter Mom. Thank you. I only served in the reserves. I didn't go anywhere. 2002. My husband was still in then. Okay. Yeah. My husband has a bad back. Were you ever at Fort Hood by any chance? It's now Fort Cavazos, but it was Fort Hood before. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to it much anymore because it's gonna flare. It's gonna flare. Yep. No. There's that middle part where you feel okay, and then if it goes above a certain number or below, I can't think of the numbers right now. Okay. A lot of people are. It's unusual when you meet somebody in the army that hasn't been to Fort Hood. It's like the black hole of the army. Yep. I'm taking these off. When I'm hot, my rings are too small. When I'm cooled off, they get too loose and get annoying. That's why I can't get them resized because it changes. But yeah, my husband, I went in '86. He went in '87. I got out in '90. He went from reserves to active duty in '89. So he was active from '89 to 2010. And he was stationed at Fort Hood for 17 years. We never went anywhere. Yeah, I can't wear my rings when I go to bed. I have a ring holder by the bed. I have to take them all off. I have woken up from the pain of my ring. I'm lucky that where we are in Texas, it's usually a fairly low humidity. Not from where I grew up in Ohio. Fort Belvoir. Oh, I know Fort Belvoir. Haven't been there, but I know of it. My training was Fort Jackson and Fort Gordon. Tom was at. Now this is why we were upset that they changed it from Hood to Cavazos, because his first three bases were three letters, and then Fort Hood was four. So he was at Fort Lee, then Fort Dix, or vice versa, I can't remember. Then Fort Ord in California. Then they closed, and we came here to Fort Hood. Yes. Yeah, I have that. Well, I have the weather app, but it has the if I want to look at it. Um, kind of near Columbus. Yeah, that's a neat, interesting topic. No, I know, I know. Oh God. Oh, I feel old sometimes. I actually don't. That's what's weird. I don't mentally. I don't feel my age, but I know I am. I mean, but health wise, I feel it. But in my brain, I don't. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. I had a friend that couldn't, he wanted to go to Annapolis so bad, but his asthma kept him out. Oh, I've been up that way a couple times. I went to Cedar Point, but really I didn't get up that way much. I was more kind of south of Columbus, so I kind of went to Cincinnati, kind of stayed out that way, um, kind of thing. Never got up to Cleveland very much. Um, that's cool. We're from Ohio. Yeah, if you ever watch me when I wear a hat when I protest, I wear my Buckeyes hat. But yeah, my extended family are in Columbus. Um, I didn't grow up in Columbus, but my extended family did. Virginia. Now my husband's family's from Virginia. Yeah, I've been in. We don't have any plans to go back home, but if I ever do, I'm gonna go over there and check it out. I still like this comment. Yeah, that time at that place when that thing happened, I'm gonna have to go take a tinkle break in a minute. Gosh, that was. Oh, and I also bought a back brace to take with me to work. I tried using the second night, but I didn't realize what was going on at first. So I was like, this back brace is not working. Well, that wasn't what was working. Yeah. Yep. I know, right? Oh my goodness. Um, I'm getting chilly. It was kind of warm in here when I came in. Where's my fan control? Let's try that. Ooh, it gets so quiet. I'm not used to silence. There's either fans on. Oh man, that's silence. I can't do it. I can't do it. I gotta turn it back on. It's almost hurting my ears. It's so quiet. The heater's not running. The AC's not running. The fan just got turned off. The dogs are quiet. I don't know if I can do it. It's eerie. Oh well, Daisy's over there snoring. Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna try to leave it off. Can you guys hear the difference when it's on or when it's off? Oh, well, when I go to bed, I play. I put the tablet or something on something. Usually 432 megahertz stuff on YouTube, and I turn down the brightness on the screen. Yeah, white noise. Well, I'll run the fan in the bedroom, but I'll just turn it off me, and that's what I do most nights. Or when I sleep, I don't sleep at night much anymore. But yeah. Most of my stepdad and my dad both served in Vietnam, but they weren't career. My great grandfather, I have his medals from World War II, but I actually started in junior ROTC in high school. So I knew from 14 on I was going in the military. Yeah. Yeah. If I get too chilly, usually I'll just turn it off of me and leave it running. Yeah, this feels weird. I'm not used to silence in this house. Mm. My tinnitus doesn't act up all the time, but when it does, it's so loud. So I'll be fine for a long time, and then it'll just go, "Woo," and I'm just like in one ear sometimes, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that hurts. But it's usually short lived, so I don't have. It's not too bad. I couldn't imagine having that all the time. Ooh, that's cool. Las Vegas Metro. Tom wanted to be in the police. I'm so glad he didn't when he retired. Hmm. Ground sound. Yeah, I do like the lower tone. So the 432 megahertz, you can get something that's like low tones, but even in that same, sometimes it's high or it has, I don't like instruments. I just like the sound. If there's a piano, I do like flutes though. I like Tibetan flutes. I do listen to those sometimes. I couldn't do constant. That's too bad. That must suck. Green noise. I've never heard of the color noises. I found the megahertz not that long ago. Before that, I would just listen to like really good spa music. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's the same with like the chronic pain and the fibro too. There were nights, the reason, and I know a lot of you probably feel the same way. I didn't sleep because I would literally sit straight up like this in Indian style all night. Because as soon as I go to relax, it hurts more. It was easier to stay all tensed up and awake than it was to try to lay down and relax and go to sleep. And that's kind of why I want to do the chronic pain panel and talk about it more. I know a lot of us have those issues. And whether we can help each other talk about things that can help or not, or just sometimes knowing that there's other people out there like us helps a great deal. That's what finding that chronic pain support group on Facebook helped me so much, because I didn't know anybody going through what I was going through in 2010, 2011. So that helped me a lot. Oh, dang. Oh, I didn't even realize this was on. It's so quiet, I didn't even see. Oh, I know. I've done that too. My electricity's gone off for whatever reason, and I'm like, it's too quiet. What happened? I had a fan die one night. It died for good. This does sound like an old folks home. Yep. This chase, um, last summer, I think I slept out here for like 2 months. I would just, because I sleep in the fetal position, so I don't need. You can literally put a stack of books at the foot of my bed, and I will not knock them off. That is just the way I've always slept. And so this little chase, I was able to sleep here for a while, and I just did for a while. But finally, I forced myself to go back into the bedroom. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't know what tinnitus was too. I'd had this a long time. I just thought it was something everybody went through. I didn't know it had a name or any of that. It was just something I'd always had, and I don't even know why. But like I said, it's mine's not constant, so knock on wood. Yeah, I know a lot of people that do that. I don't know why. Does it really? Oh, God, gabapentin has so many dang side effects. I tried to go off it. I really did, but I'm back on it. And last weekend, I took morning and night because of the new job. Because I had just knocked down my dose, and I was only taking it at night. That second night, I was in so much pain. I was trying everything when I got home. And I had an hour. Oh, I didn't get to tell you about my car. I'm going to take a tinkle break, and I'm going to come back and tell you about the spaceship that is parked in my driveway, the rental car. Oh my God. It was amazing. I love it. And we're going to get to keep it till the 11th of April. So, yeah. God, I know. It's so hard. When I do sleep, I'm so happy if I wake up and I get 3 or 4 straight hours without some dog waking me up or something. Be right back. Oh, I hate getting out of this chase. The arm's right here. Oh, God. Okay, where'd my other... All right, I'd really like to know how my slipper got 2 feet away. Petunia. Somebody keeps moving my slipper. Okay, I'm back. Ooh, I'm getting... My antivirus is yelling at me. Go away. We don't need you right now. Oh, let's see. What shenanigans did you get up to while I was gone? Hey, No Face is here. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, see, they did a hearing test. I wanted hearing aids. I have to turn the TV up so loud because outside noise gets in the way. Now they have those things you can buy and use, but I don't bother. I just use earbuds sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't even know that's what tinnitus was for a long time. Yeah, mine is more high pitched. It'll start and then it kind of just gets louder. It's like that. I don't know, but it's awful funny when I sit down, my slippers are sitting together, and when I get up, one's over there. I have to watch her. She'll steal my socks. And so I have earbuds. I don't know if I've got one sitting here that I like. And what happens is they'll fall on the floor, like off my nightstand. I won't notice. And they'll pop open, and she grabs those earbuds and goes chews them to pieces. So we've had now 9 pairs of those earbuds. Thank God they're cheap. Oh no. Yeah, my husband, same thing. Being in the army, being around tanks and stuff all the time. Although I don't know that I can't tell because he always ignored me. So I don't know if he doesn't hear me or he's ignoring me. Yeah, I do that too. I have to have it because I'll miss like 1 or 2 words and be completely lost. That's why when I'm talking to somebody on the street, I can't look at you guys in the chat. I have to look at that person's mouth while they're talking to make sure I get everything right. I'll try that. I'll try that green noise. Meniere's disease. I've heard of that. I don't know a lot about it. Yeah, my husband, while they were doing the Friday night, I had Cheryl on one tab and Aaron on the other tab. I was going back and forth. And so they were honking. And Tom is literally, we have the computer sitting between us on this little tote that we sit it on. And that's how we watch TV. We don't bother with the TV in there. And I didn't even have it turned down. And he's dead asleep. And they're honking and talking loud. He didn't even notice it. That man has slept through mortar explosions. When he was in Iraq the first time, the only reason he woke up is one hit a Humvee outside of his room and it blew his room door open. So it wasn't even the noise, it was the door blowing open that woke him up. He can sleep through anything. And he can go right back to sleep. So easy. I hate him for it because I can't. If I sleep for 2 hours or an hour and they wake me up, I can be up for the rest of the day. I'm like, all it takes is a little bit. Yeah. And Tom doesn't realize. I'll be like, what'd they just say? He needs to realize I only mean like the last few words. He'll go back through like the last 3 sentences and say it. I'm like, no. So much easier for me to just rewind. Yeah. I mean, when I use earbuds, it's just to listen. When I'm sitting here, I get headphones out. Yeah, it does. Oh, you mean, as a mic? I don't know. My husband talks to me on them all the time, and they work fine. Hey, Bonsai Babe, how are you? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Oh, this is the old people's home right now. Maybe we can find a new topic. Been talking about our aches and pains. It's just, man, I've found out how so many, you think you're alone when you don't have somebody like a family member or a friend that has the same problems. You're like, I must be the only one that feels this way. So it does help to know that other people feel this way too. Um, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't recommend the earbuds I use. They're $15. Matter of fact, the last set I bought Tom was 10. The colors are different prices, but they're great. I love them. Um, Doug, I'm not highlighting that. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about something else. What's been going on in the world lately that's not controversial? Nothing. Nothing. I don't know. I don't get out much in the world right now. Oh, no. We finished Dianetics a few weeks ago, and we had already talked prior. We started John A. textbook, Piece of Blue Sky. I don't know if it's The Piece of Blue Sky or Piece of Blue Sky. And we've only, because of some other things that went on, I think we've only read a couple chapters. Right now we're in, and this guy is so knowledgeable on L. Ron Hubbard. You know, I've heard things here and there, but we're going over his fake past, his explorer days, and how much that was all a lie. Um, yeah, it makes Tom feel weird, but I know. What is this not controversial you speak of? I know. That was a dumb question. I know. Oh, let's sell them and please the blue skies at the whole. Oh, is it really? I never knew what season. I thought it was in. Why did I think that was in the fall? I did not know that. I have not, but I will. Like I said, I just found her, and the only post I saw of hers was, I think this was her, where she was like, who are you to be questioning if one of our people is an ex-Scientologist or not? She was like, that's our job. We will know if that person is legit or not. It's not for the never ends to be saying who is and who isn't an ex-Scientologist. I'm like, well, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, that's all you can do, Minnie. I mean, I get it. Because Tom went home to his little hometown after his first tour. And he went without me that time. I couldn't get off work. And his family had a huge banner in the yard, welcome him. He was on one of the floats at the 4th of July parade in town, which is a really small parade. And they did this he was like, oh my gosh. He was not into, but his family loved it. His mom, and he has brothers and sisters and stuff. They all loved it. So I said, well, you know, Oh, you know what? I think that's a good idea too. I think that's a great idea. When they started doing that in LA, going to that bridge, we don't always have to be right in front of the org, because I do, just because I'm lucky. I feel very lucky where I'm at. I have a lot of foot traffic from the school. And so, but you know what? That gives me an idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe go ahead and shut them down and maybe just go to a different corner. I don't know. Because I probably get the same people crossing there every day from the school. I don't know. That's a thought. But yeah, that was really smart. I think protesting in the, like, maybe in the same city, but a different area where there's more foot traffic. Because I think people seeing the signs, it getting in their mind, and maybe they might be willing to stop and talk is a big part of it. And I know, Jen, your org is in the middle of nowhere. So I think that's a great idea. I think everybody that's at one of those orgs that doesn't have a lot of foot traffic or has the same traffic all the time, I think that's a great idea. A great idea for us to start doing. Wow, I never thought of that, Jen. That's a really good idea. Wow. Yeah, my husband felt the same way. He just felt he was supposed to do it. Yeah. I don't like the behavior, but I kind of understand why it's happening. That these people grew up in an effed up, oh, what's the word I want? Just scenario, situation. They don't they don't know what, they weren't raised to understand what normal relationships are supposed to be like. They, if they haven't, especially if they were in it in a young age, they were taught that lying was okay. They were taught families weren't important, that being kind was there was a derogatory term for it, that attack, never defend, So even if somebody's getting therapy, John Atack and Natalie had this discussion, and he said with help, it can take 12 or more years to get out of it. Without help, you may never get the call out of your mind. So even if somebody's getting therapy and making breakthroughs, so if you haven't gotten rid of all of that, it's in there. And they've said, because it's even happened to me being stressed out like my whole existence, it can rewire your brain in your amygdala area. That constant stress while you're guys, the fiber brain is getting me. While you're developing, can rewire your brain permanently. And so survivors, I do give a little bit of leeway to. I'm not angry or hateful towards that person. I'm mostly disappointed and just sad. I missed something up here. Did I miss something? Oh, I got a room raid. Woohoo! All right, cool. Hey, Sharon. How you guys doing? What is a pro? Did I say that? I don't even remember what I just said. That's how good my memory is. Hello, Raiders. Hello, hello. That's cool. That is so cool, Jen. That is so cool. I'm gonna go back and watch that. That's what we should be doing. I knew we were in a rut. I knew even for me after a year, I needed to figure out some way to do it different. And that's perfect. And they were doing it in LA, because Blue was so toxic and they got chased out. They were going to that bridge above, was it above a freeway? And they had big signs. And people that don't know anything about Scientology are going to see those signs or stop and talk to you. Just like I think we really need to get that word out. That's really a great idea. Hi, Gabrielle. Hi. Let's see. I'm behind a little bit, guys. I'm catching up. Hey, Yadira. Hello. Yeah, go get some sleep. I understand. I'm on this schedule now because I just started a job. So now I'm asleep during the day and be up all night, even though. Hey, Hammy. Good to see you, too. Good to see you. You got to come in here and give us a new topic. We've just been talking about our broken bones and ailments for like an hour. Hey, MSD. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I know. There is. I know. Oh, no. Oh, well, let us know where to send the gifts. Oh, no. Is that where he went? All right. Good night, MSD. We'll see you later. Oh, God, a long time. Because, we were only, reading about an hour and a half every Sunday. So, let me look. I'm curious myself. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You're right. Let's see. Did I say hi? Did I get everybody? Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, Jen decided not to go to the Las Vegas org. She just went in Las Vegas, like near the org, but more in the city, and just protested there. And people looked at her signs and stuff. And I'm like, that's a really good idea, because I know so many of these orgs are in out of the way places and you don't see a lot of people. That's a great idea. Go to another part of that community where there's more people. You don't necessarily have to set up shop right outside the org. Like I said, I'm one of the lucky ones where the org is very busy. That's why they picked that location. It's right across the street from the university. So I get people walking by all the time. Because I don't know if I could do it like as much as I was if I was in the middle of nowhere like some of you guys are, you know, because I get to talk to people a lot. Oh, no clues here. Hmm. Yep. I get that. That's what I get. You've seen me. That's what I get. So maybe that's your calling there. Mm-hmm. And you know what you'll get. Did you ever get, I didn't know there was Scientology in Las Vegas? I get that a lot. They see me, they look up, done it just looks like an office building. The sign is clear up above the first floor. Most people walk and don't look up like that, and there's no other sign. So I get people all the time that look at me, look up, and go, I didn't know they were even here. Sometimes that's all we got to do is let people know they're there. Whoop, whoop. That went too fast. Well, I know it. I mean, I have a drive. If I lived in the same city as New York, I'd be there every day. I'd show up, go home, show up again. Oh yeah, a mall. Yeah, yeah. We need to start getting more people to do that. I don't know why we didn't think of that sooner, Bub. You did. Yeah, I know. And they're not going to call the cops on you there because you're not near their property, so you're not going to get any trouble. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. We need to start branching out. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. And you know what? I just had a thought. All these people that are like, it really sucks that there isn't an org near me that I can protest at. What about just protesting in your community and just letting them know they exist and let them know that we're trying to get their tax exempt and let them know about the abuses? Maybe we don't have to be near an org. That's how I got involved. And the only reason I got involved in the protesting here is they had, yeah, they had, because I'm gonna mention, they had moved out of the building to renovate it for the Ideal Org stuff, I guess. And so they reopened it a year ago, last February. And when I found out they were opening up across from the university, that made me mad. And I'm like, I'm going to go down there and make sure these young people don't get lured in. But I know, and that's where I've never watched a documentary. I've never watched the show. Everything I found out is from the mouths of the survivors themselves. And that was enough for me. Yeah. Yeah. That's such a great idea. And you know what I'm finding out is because we're standing there, this may be something they were already doing. They're traveling to Body Route. They're traveling from downtown Austin to the suburbs to Cedar Park and a town that's not even a suburb. It's just north. It's a separate town, Leander. We found their pamphlets there. So if they're traveling, we're going to have to travel. So you know what? Instead of trying to go to all those businesses where they dropped off the pamphlets in this mall in Cedar Park, maybe I'll just go there and set up shop for the day for a couple hours and let people know instead of trying to go and find all their pamphlets. That is such a great idea. Oh my goodness. I think you might have broke something open there, Jen. You might have put a second wind into this protest. Because we've done this for a year and a half, depending on where you're at. I've been racking my brain. I know I need to go to the courthouse, not the courthouse. We have the Capitol building in Austin because it's the Capitol. So I don't have to go to just my representative's office. I can go into all of them. And I want to get those media packs that they gave out to the commissioners meeting in LA. I want to get those and take them with me. When I talk to you guys and I'm like, I'm going to do this, I get off here and my fiber brain forgets what I said. I literally have to write things down. I still need to find out what they're only in session certain times of the year. Yeah. And see, I forget to check my emails too. I will check my emails. I even wrote in my notebook, check emails every day, and I still don't. I'm terrible about that stuff. I wasn't before I got fibro. I could multitask 4 things at a time. Ugh. God, I know. It's like it's got Swiss cheese up here. Hey, no. Wait, what? You guys. Oh, really? I know, but then I don't look at my phone. I know. Matter of fact, I set an alarm for today to get up at a certain time. I set 3 alarms, 1:15, and 1:30. I never heard them, and I don't know why. Everything was turned up. They did not go off because Tom was awake. He had woken up. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to get a separate alarm that's not my phone. But yeah, I think we need to really pursue this idea. That's a really great idea, Jen. And it always takes somebody else to think outside the box to be like, that makes perfect sense. We should do that. So y'all, everybody's in different chats all the time. Start putting the word out that if you don't have, especially if you don't have an org near you, go find a mall or a city center in your community, make up some signs, and just put the awareness out there. You don't have to be in front of an org to get the word out about the abuses of Scientology. It was partly about letting communities know they're there and letting them know what they're doing. But I think now, and letting the people inside know that there's a way to get out. Well, we've done that for a while. Now we're going to need to branch out, because what I've been hoping where I'm at this big university is that a senator's kid or a judge's kid or an IRS agent's kid may be going to college there and see my signs or talk to me and be like, hey, mom or dad, you need to look into this. This sounds horrible. Well, if you go to a city center or a mall in your own town, you might get that. Or set up shop in front of your Capitol building. Maybe I could do that instead of worrying about going into every office. I know, right? I know. We could all go there. Eric is a lizard person. What are you guys getting into? Oh my goodness. Oh. Ooh. Cantaloupe. Oh my goodness, you guys are too much. Oh. I'm not doing no 7-hour stream tonight, you guys. I'll do a little bit longer, but I can, though. That's the problem. Now that I'm on that schedule, that's not making me stay up late, but I'll be keeping y'all up late. Yeah, that's what I figured out. Yeah, what's going on in the other chats? I'm always curious what's going on other channels. I don't get to get everywhere. Oh, God dang it. Oh. Did you see how little I move my neck? Oh my God, this nerve right here pops and burns all the way to the top of my head. Oh, I know. It's completely my fault now for getting this job. Yeah. It's only 12:36 here. That's not late to me. I'm not highlighting that comment there, Papa. You guys. So what is going on? Anything? Jen had a really great idea. So that was neat. I'm going to go. We all need to go watch Jen. Was that earlier today, Jen? So instead of protesting in front of the Las Vegas org that's in the middle of nowhere, she went out into the community in Las Vegas with her signs and protested there and got eyeballs on the subject. And I think that is such a great idea. Oh, I had a car accident in 1988. So I get trigger point injections all through here to release the tension, and it gets better. I lose range of motion when I don't get them. And for some reason, right here, I'll literally just turn my neck this much and it will pop. It's just, I don't know if it's because it's really tight. I don't know what's going on in there. But it goes way quick. It's already gone. It just really hurts right then. Cult flyers in English and Spanish. That's a good idea. Especially in Vegas and in Texas too. So what was going on over there? Oh, all the eloping stuff? Yeah, I know. Dang, Sharon. Woo! Yeah. Everybody knows I'm in Texas. But if you know I'm a protester. If you don't, you probably don't know where I'm at. But I protest down in Austin. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. So that's something I was going to mention. Let me turn this so I can lean. I'm going to have to, with this new, so I haven't worked in August. It would have been 50, it'll be 15 years. So now I'm working Saturday and Sunday night, 12 hours overnight, 6 to 6. So I'll try, but I think I can only protest 2 days a week with that, because I've got to recover from that with my back and everything. If it doesn't get better, I'm hoping the problem I had this last weekend is a one-off, because I had a problem with my implant. But if it's not and it continues to be this painful, I'm not going to be able to stay. My husband already talked about it. I said, if this doesn't get better and I keep feeling this bad, there's no way I can keep doing it. But they might have a position somewhere where originally I was just supposed to be an emergency call-in for the position where you just sit and watch cameras. And then this position came up, and like 3 days before, they were like, hey, you want a permanent weekend shift? I'm like, sure, why not? Yeah. Yeah, I know. But, I was in a really good rhythm last summer when I first started, until we started hitting the weather of this winter. Because I started last February. I was going 3 times a week, no problem. And then just stuff kept getting in the way. Oh, you're in Quebec. So you're an hour later than me. Yeah, I'm the same time as like Chicago area. Oh, here we go. Yes. Pub Groomer has a ton of stuff you can print out. I've got some of it that I've used. Yeah, we do. But we'll see how this weekend goes, starting tonight, actually. But if I don't have the problem I had last week, then I'll know it was just because I had a glitch in the implant. Yeah, you guys are, because you're my family in Ohio. I always know they're an hour later. I know. Well, the protesting helped me a lot. My legs are stronger than they ever were. So luckily I had this last year of standing and doing a little bit of walking to get there and stuff, and dragging that wagon everywhere. So my legs didn't hurt. My feet didn't hurt after 12 hours, 2 nights, no problem. So I did get stronger through the protesting, but I'd only done 2 to 3 hours on my back. That's the issue, is the back. I did get a back brace to help on Amazon. But if you guys weren't here earlier, what happened was I don't have it right here, but I have a little iPhone that controls the implant, and I can set it up or down to however I feel. Literally the last year and a half, I've left it on the same setting. Well, somehow in my bag or something, taking it with me to work, it got turned off for 5 hours, and I didn't know it. And I'm like, God, I was in excruciating pain. I was about to cry, and I couldn't figure out why. And so I'm adjusting it again, and I realized there's this button I never paid attention to that normally said therapy on in green. I didn't even know it was something you could change. And I touched it and it came back on. It said therapy off in red. So my implant was turned off for about 5 hours at least on my second night on the job. And I was like, oh my gosh. And by then it was so sore that even turning it back on didn't help. It took a couple of days of rest for it to get back to normal. So fingers crossed, that's what the problem was. Because the first night, yeah, I was sore, but it wasn't ridiculous like that. So I'm really hoping that's all it was. And everything will be fine this weekend. I'll let you know next week. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? If they're doing, I don't know how places do it. I've never been involved in local elections. But if they're doing any kind of election stuff, like a rally or anything like that, or event, go set up shop outside of those and put Scientology needs its tax exempt status taken away and what their crimes are, and let these politicians know. I'm telling you, a lot of them, I mean, I didn't know anything 2.5 years ago. A lot of us didn't. Yeah, take a sign, just one sign. It's a You know what starts the most conversations is my sign that says Scientology is a cult. Ask me why. And they do. But if you just start listing their crimes, and people are going to be like, really? Yeah, me too. I'm behind a little bit, so thank you. That's a good idea. Bumper stickers might be a great idea. Yeah. Yeah. Because we were just talking, what she did. Hey, Eric. Oh, Eric, I need to tell you what Pup just did. So, that's what we're talking about. So, Pup, where she goes to protest in Las Vegas, is like in the middle of nowhere. There's no traffic. There's no foot traffic. So she decided, where was it you set up, Pup? Let me scroll forward. She decided to go into Vegas and protest there, or just have your signs out. And she said people were honking, people were looking at reading her signs. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe we need to start spreading out like you guys were doing in LA. I don't know if you were doing it yourself, Eric, but I know some of them were going to this overpass. I think it was above the freeway, and putting banners out. Maybe we need to stop worrying about being right in front of an org. They already know what we're about. And branching out. Not everybody. I'm really lucky. Where I protest, I get a lot of new eyeballs every day because of the university. I get tons of people walking by me all the time. So I'm lucky in that way. I'm always getting people stopping and talking to me. Okay, it's Las Vegas Boulevard, a bit down from the base. There's a military base. So she went to Las Vegas Boulevard, set up her signs and stuff. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, so maybe we need to get there's a lot of people that say, I don't live near an org, I can't protest. Well, maybe we need to stop thinking that way. Maybe in your city, even if you don't have one, just go to somebody said, a farmer's market or a festival event, a city center, a mall, right? And get this word out to the people. And we need to start putting that out. When people say there's no org near me, I can't protest. Maybe we need to not worry about that anymore. Even though I say that just being in our chats is enough of support. That's all we need. Oh, I'm sure somebody can. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Stand outside of freaking Trader Joe's. Yeah. I mean, let's stop worrying about the orgs now. Those people have seen us for a year and a half. They know what we're about. The community knows they're there now. We need to start spreading out. Because what I hope where I'm at is that I've said this already, but I'm repeating in case somebody new came in. Is it's such a big university and it's the state capital that I'm hoping that some senator's kid, some judge's kid, some IRS agent's kid is going to that school and sees me and is like, hey, mom or dad, do you know this is going on? Maybe you should check it out. So, yeah, I think somebody did have patches. I just don't remember who. Or, you could always buy one of the t-shirts and just cut the logo out and Mod Podge that thing to your backpack or something like that. Somebody, and I think it was in LA, had a backpack that had that electric sign on it. I think it's kind of expensive though. That you could put things in. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to call the cops on you if you're not standing out in front of the org, but you're going to get people looking at the sign. You don't know how many times, Eric, because if you've seen the building I'm next to, there's nothing at eye level that tells you that building is Scientology. It's way up high at the top of the first floor. And so I used to have the handheld sign. I have a better one now. I would sit it in my wagon right about eye level, and people would look at my sign, look up, and look at me and go, I had no idea they were even here. So you won't get that because you're not next to an org, is what we're talking about. But they're going to see the sign. They're going to see if you've got a sign with their crimes on it. I mean, if I was going to be away from an org, I would definitely have signs with their crimes on it, that we want to get their tax exempt status taken away because they're not really a church. Whatever. There's so many signs on Pup Groomers channel. So many people have stuff, printouts and stuff. Oh, that would be yeah, Confident Chris had the backpack. I remember that. And I like Dusty's sign too. Because you can put so much on it. So yeah, because I've been racking my brain, you guys. I hit my 1 year before that, and I'm like, how can we branch out? How can we add some momentum to this? It's kind of getting the same old, which it still is a good thing. But I'm like, I've been thinking of all kinds of different things we could do, and that is the best one. We need to branch out. Okay, Fourth Wall has patches. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And see, you don't have to be there during their hours. You can go, Dusty was saying that he was having trouble around his work schedule. Well, maybe he shouldn't be worried about being down there next to Flag. Maybe go somewhere close to where you live. So it's not such a long, because I drive 150 miles round trip. Maybe I could stand outside my local mall here and let people know what's going on in Austin when I can't make it to the org. Dang, I just thought of that. That's a great idea. Because I'm near a military base. We have a lot of people from all around the world here in this town. That's a really great idea. I know. But I mean, you don't even have like a big town even near you. So you still have to kind of go that far. But still, I think what you did was a great idea. Great idea. Wow. I'm so pumped. You just don't know. I want this to get out. When I get excited about something, I'm like, I want to shout it from the rooftops. This is what we need to do. Let's do this. But yeah, okay, I will. I promise. I will. I promise. Well, if you want me to read it right now, I'll check it. I'll go check. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, I missed a bunch. Are you the one talking about the anti-Scientology website? I don't want to out your email. Yeah, that is a really good. I know it is a great idea. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea too. Mm-hmm. I know it probably would. I've never done emails because I had my job. Nobody contacted me by email. I worked in a small office. I dealt with everybody face to face, and there was everybody that came in to see me had to see me face to face. I never did emails. I've never done emails. I know. Oh, I know. I'll go through. I have a few emails I haven't seen. Okay. All right. Okay. I will definitely get with you. Definitely. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't. Okay. So I have a spaceship in my driveway. Good night. That's what I call it, an alien spaceship. So the rental car, they asked me if I wanted a Jeep. I said, no, I don't really do Jeeps. Do you want a pickup? No, I just put a pickup in the shop. I'd like to have something else. They said, well, we've got an SUV. I'm like, okay. They're like, it's a Hyundai Palisade. I'm like, okay. It is amazing. Amazing. So it's got 3 rows of seat. It's the front of it sits like this high, but to get in, you're getting in it like a normal car. It didn't, I'm short. It didn't hurt. That's not what got me. So everything is a screen. I have a bare bones pickup truck, guys. It's 12 years old. I'm lucky I even have a radio in it. So that alone was amazing. So then there's all these controls on the steering wheel. I can't figure out crap. I can do navigation and all this other stuff I figured out. So my first night driving to work, I got almost halfway there and I still cannot figure out cruise control. I live on cruise control. It keeps me from speeding. So Canadian geese, they might get my attention more. They're bigger. So finally I hit a button that finally felt like cruise control, and these green lights came on and showed the car. I mean, when I turn on the backup camera, it gives me a 3D view of the car and the lines in the space and the cars around me. Oh, when I'm driving, it also tells me when there's something near me. So it's got sensors all the way around. It's amazing. What I engaged was self-drive. This sucker drove me to work without any input from me. I was like, well, when I got to where we on the freeway, but when there was times I had to start getting off and on and make turns, I couldn't do it. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is freaking amazing. I was like, I got my sandwich out. I was eating my sandwich. And now it did yell at me. I had to keep one hand on. And I like that anyway, because I'm not used to this and it freaked me out. But I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I've never dealt with this kind of technology in my life. We've never been able to afford anything like this. Because my husband's like, oh, do we need, because we just lost the camper. And he's like, well, do we need to buy you a new car? And I'm like, we can't afford this. Without even looking, I was like, we cannot afford this. I was like, hi, Carrie, man. So my rental car is an alien spaceship that drove me to work. And it was so great after working 12 hours overnight, getting off at 6 a.m. and being tired. There were a couple times where on the freeway I was like, nope, I'm awake. And I didn't have to worry about swerving or anything. It'll slow down when something gets in the way. It'll speed. Oh, the first thing I noticed while I was on self-drive, if the car started to speed up or I started going up a hill, the lumbar support in the seat cupped me and came out to support me like I'm in a jet facing G's. Too many G's. It's got to support me because, oh my gosh, I'm going up a slight hill. I was like, holy crap, what the heck? And then when I go flat, it goes back into the seat. I was like, what the heck is this? I think there's still stuff I haven't figured out in this car. It was so fun. Oh no. So I was like, man, I wish. So I looked it up. We can't afford it. It's 44,000 to 54,000. Never spent that much on a car in my life. My camper didn't even cost half of that. So no. Oh, did I? I know I was going off. Oh, neato. Yeah, and this thing is big too. And oh my gosh, the first time I got on the freeway, it was only 65. I was doing 80 within a mile, and I didn't even know it. It. Oh my gosh, it drives like a Cadillac, and it's this big, huge lumber. The only thing I don't understand is you have all of this technology. This car costs this much, but the seat is flat and hard as a rock and uncomfortable. That part I didn't understand. Why the seat couldn't be more comfortable or softer, unless it's because I found out it's got heated and air conditioned seats too. So that's probably why. Yeah. There's buttons I don't want to touch. They scare me. I don't know what they're gonna do. It was fun. It was fun. The only thing I didn't like about using the nav is when I use Google Maps, it tells you when there's a slowdown. This one did not. So, oh, I gotta turn the fan back on. I'm getting a hot flash. Look at that. Can you guys see it? Oh, I can see it. See my face turning red? Woo! Hot flash! I only get them in my face. Oh, that's better. They don't last long, thank God. Yeah. Oh, you talked about that before. I wish I could buy it, but I will not be without a pickup truck ever again. It's just I prefer, especially when I'm driving to Austin in the city, I like being up high, being able to see, especially in a pickup, you can see better. That now I couldn't see very well out the back of those windows, but it had the backup camera. But I just installed a dash cam that has all the bells and whistles. You can cast stuff to it. You can talk on the phone. You can put nav on it, but I haven't figured out how to use it yet. And it has a backup camera that Tom needs to install. So, because I broke our bumper at the parking garage in Austin because I thought, well, I'm going to try to back in because it's always, if there's a lot of traffic, it's hard to get out. Anyway, it's hard to see back there. And I told him, I said, if you don't, they're about to fix everything on the truck. I'm like, if you don't want me to mess up the bumper again, you've got to install the rear camera. So I have a backup camera, which I've never had in my life. Hey, Ductus, how are you? We were talking about this rental car I got that is amazing. I wish I could buy it, but I can't. Ooh. Oh, that'll be neat. Man, I found out there's so many things you can do on YouTube. We used to think before this, when we would watch YouTube, we're like, we don't have the personality for YouTube. We don't have the subject. Tom likes, I said, Tom, half the people you watch, he likes to watch people refurbishing knives and axes and stuff. That's what he does. Or he's making them from scratch. And I said, half the people you watch don't talk. They just point the camera at what they're doing and show you. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you could do that. You have every power tool known to man. He has every power tool known to man, and I can't get him to fix shit stuff. Drives me crazy. Yeah. Oh, my daughter just bought a Toyota something. Yeah, that's what you said, Eric. You and Minnie are getting together to be her mod, so that's cool. How are you doing, Ductus, tonight? What time is it where you're at? We were all talking about what time. I'm 1:03 right now. Like I said, this isn't late for me anymore, so you can stay, or if you have to go and go to sleep. My face is still red. Whew. Chat 31. I know. I feel the same way. I feel like I've been in all the chats today. 11:03, Southern California. All right, my daughter she lives near Riverside. I went out there for a month, September before last, but I didn't go see anything. I was helping her babysit. But she loves it. She spent 30 years in Texas and then moved to California. She said she went there for the weather, and I laugh at her because she never goes outside. She works from home. She doesn't have a car. They never go anywhere. Just like she did in Texas. Yeah, I know. You told me. Yep. Well, if I ever do come to visit her again, I'm going to contact everybody. We're going to do a meetup. Because I rented a car last time and went to a Popcorn Planet meetup in Burbank and met Louis and Andy and Steph. Kim didn't make that one. She made the one in Las Vegas. And a bunch of people from the chat. That was the most fun, is meeting people. And my daughter is like 30 minutes from you, Ductus. Because I looked and she was directly in between Hemet and the Twin Peaks base. As a matter of fact, she was looking at apartments in Hemet when she got this apartment, but she said it was a little bit too far out. She wanted to be more near things because she didn't have a car. She had one, but the ex totaled it. Man, I feel better now. That's cool. Like I said, if I ever get out there again, I'm gonna try to get anybody I can find in that area, and we'll do something. I've been to 3 meetups with Popcorn Planet, and they were kind of at the 2 of them were at like a bar type thing, and the first one it was too loud to talk. The second one was at round 1. It was like they had a lot of games and bowling and karaoke and different things like that. So that was better. So something like that. Something where we can talk. But fun. That would be fun if it's the right weather. I don't know where Westwood is. I don't know the area that well. She does. I don't. She's been out there almost 3 years now, I think. Westwood. Ooh, way up there. Well, it looks like a nice area. Oh, duh. Okay, that's a California thing I didn't understand. Okay. Woo, right over the head. Oh, are you kidding? I see that stuff all the time. There's some dude that has a YouTube show where he lives in an old ghost town and he's like revamping it. I've found him a couple times. That you know what I told it was early on when Dan Walks LA was thinking about doing it, and we emailed a couple times and I said just do it, because what I've found is people will find you. People that want to watch your content will find you eventually. It may take a little time. I don't have a huge channel. I never expected to be this big. You know, I only wanted enough to be able to go live, and that was it. And I mean, unless you're wanting to have a huge channel and a huge following and a bit, you have to do. But I mean, if you're just having fun like I am, and you have a reason, just do it. What I used to think when I started, I was like, I don't want to be on camera. I'll just film Pearl Snappy, and that was it. And then after a while, I was like, who cares? I think you would find, excuse me, I think you would find people that would love that kind of stuff. Because if you love it, I guarantee you there are other people out there that will be interested. Look at this. I've got 18 people on here talking to me, and I'm just talking with you guys. We're just having a good time. If this was not something I ever thought we would do, but I was like, I wanted to do one thing that was fun and not just the protesting all the time. So, oh no, that sounds like fun. I can't do the just driving down the road, but that sounds like fun. There was something I was gonna film. Oh, I thought about filming the base, and we have a base museum where all the tanks and stuff are. Maybe I thought about doing that, and maybe not even live. I thought about just filming it and putting it on, because it used to be a closed base and only certain people could get on, but now it's more open. I don't even understand why. I mean, I guarantee you there'd be people that watch you fish because it's relaxing. I've watched some weird stuff because it was relaxing. There's a guy in Tokyo. I love Japan. He does walks, and I started watching him years ago. I would watch his walks. Not in the He does city ones, but this was more of a suburb and more quiet. And I just sat there and watched it and relaxed until I fell asleep. It was great. We've got people on here just going to the beach. I mean, there's painting, drawing. I mean, it's just amazing what you can do out here. I am not getting in this conversation y'all are having right there. Oh, Moreno Valley Air Force Base has a retired airplane museum. Somebody would love that. Yeah. Originally, I just never got to it. My other channel that I have is called Welcome to Fort Cavazos. I haven't done anything with it. What it is we have people that in the military, when you get your new orders, some people, I could never do it, but they rent or buy a house sight unseen because they want to have a place to land when they get here. Well, I've only moved twice, so I've never found the need, but So I was on the spouse group on Facebook, For Cavasso Spouse, and so people would come on there, and that weren't here, they were like in Germany or something, they're coming here and they were asking about certain neighborhoods, and I would tell them, I've been here 32 years, I'll let you know what's good or bad. And I thought, well, I could start, and I looked, there's nobody else doing this, and this was like 2 years ago. I bought a knockoff GoPro to do it, never did get to it. And I was just going to drive around the different areas of town and show them the areas and what the area looks like, you know, and if they wanted me to go to a certain neighborhood, I could. If they wanted to rent a house or buy a house there, I could show them what it actually looks like. I mean, all you have to look at is maybe Google Maps, maybe, and you really can't get a feel for a neighborhood that way. So I may get to that eventually, but this took over instead. So I might at least I thought about going out to I-35 and filming coming in, filming the main highway and what's to see on the way to the base, so they could at least see what the main areas look like, and just post that and just leave it and let people look at it. If I can't get to the exact neighborhoods, I could get to the main areas and show them what there is, and then they could find it. So I might get off my butt and get that done. Now, next week, I didn't even think of this. I'm going to be in San Antonio at the Riverwalk. I don't know if I'll do it live, but I bet I should film for a few minutes just to show you guys if you've never seen the Riverwalk. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I haven't been there in years. I hope they haven't ruined it. The Bushman. Okay. I know nothing about fishing, so I'm just letting you have your conversation. Yeah, I fished when I was young. It's not my thing, and my husband, we're just not people that like to fish. My son really got into fishing, though. You should, Doug. You totally should. I've seen people doing that stuff, especially the overland stuff. I watch that stuff. I've watched the van life. I've watched the people with the Jeeps and the tent on their roof and stuff. I love to watch that kind of stuff. Oh, he's real. Oh, okay. Weird. I agree. Not too sure about that. Yeah. And people will watch it because it's that way. I recommend anytime you're in nature, there are a few places that I watched for a little while, but if they talked a lot, I kind of left. So be okay with going out and maybe talking and then just chilling and just filming, letting people, because there are city people like me too that can't get out to nature that often, that would love it. And there's a Japanese and Chinese guy that I watch that all they do is they have the little K trucks and they have a box, they build a camper and they go out, just a dude, and he just films himself setting up camp, cooking his dinner, packing everything away, going to sleep, getting up, making breakfast, and I watch that stuff. Not as much as I used to. I don't have time, but I used to a lot. And there was these girls that would go camping in South Korea, I think is where they lived. One was American and one was Korean, and they would just film themselves setting up their tent, doing their thing in nature. The one, she didn't talk very much. I watched her more. The other girl, she was a talker. I liked watching her. She was funny, but whew, wow. Texas Bushman. Huh. Texas Bushman. Yep, found him. Oh, okay. Oh, it's one of those kind of channels. Okay. I found him. Those are funny sometimes, but you know what my second thought is after somebody pulls up one of those pranks is I'm surprised he's doing it in Texas. There's a good chance you might get shot. Because there's some I've seen that are Spanish language, so they're like in South America or something, and they do some really ornery pranks. I'm like, boy, you're lucky you don't give somebody a heart attack and put them in the hospital. All right. Good night, Scooter Mom. Yes, I know. God, I'll never let that happen again. Oh, no joke. Yeah, I've seen that guy a few times. Hmm. I'm probably subbed to him, most likely. I have a long sub list. I sub to channels that I want to go back and watch and not forget about. I may not have watched them in a long time. I've watched. I used this was before SPTV though, when I had time because I was bedridden and homebound for many years, so I had a lot of time. I watched these Korean women and Japanese women that just I like to watch them because they get stuff from IKEA and they organize and clean and it's quiet and then they cook and I learn new recipes. I like to cook Asian dishes a lot. So I've watched some weird stuff. Some weird stuff. Oh, I don't even call it that weird. It's just not. Oh, there's a girl in Japan I watch. She lives in a tiny apartment. She doesn't talk. And she films going to the grocery store and going out. And the reason I like watching her is I want to move to Japan for like 6 months or a year and rent an apartment because it's cheaper than a hotel. And just kind of have, after Tom really retires, have an extended vacation because it's so cheap there. So I like watching the daily life to get an idea of like how much food costs and the areas to live. There's a lot of Tokyo people a lot of Japan people I watch. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. People would love it if you would. So there is a girl I'm sub to. I really like her. And she does one thing on her channel, but she's gone on hikes before. I couldn't watch it because she talked the whole time. And I don't mind her. I love her, but I would have liked to have just watched the hike. You know what I'm saying? If you guys know what I mean. So my suggestion is if you want to do some talking, do it at the beginning and then just kind of let everybody commune with nature with you. That's just my opinion. Everybody has different opinions. I don't really need mods. The few people that are my mods, I made mods more because I didn't have memberships yet, and they were just really always in my chat. And so my chat is so small, I can do it myself. And to be honest, trolls don't bother me as long as they're not being disgusting. I will talk to them. I turned a troll one day when I went vertical at the org into a sub because I never take the bait because they don't upset me. So I had somebody, because I posted my pictures of the tree that fell. Somebody came on and said, that looks like a dump. I don't know if I need to. I said, this is how I answered. I said, yeah, it does need work. My husband's 80% disabled, about to be 100 from his Army career, and I'm 100% disabled, so it's really hard to get things done. We're really looking at wanting to rent it out because we just can't take care of it anymore. It's the truth. So I just answer them. Even if they're being rude, I don't care. I answer them. What are you going to say to that? So Scooter Mom was modding, was in my channel and was modding for somebody else one day, and she said, "Well, I got to go mod over here." I'm like, "Okay." She goes, "I know you'll be okay." I said, "Yeah, I like trolls." She goes, "I know you do. If they're not being gross, I will talk to them." You can sing your song because Scooter Mom's gone. If you want to, go ahead. Let it rip. Let her rip. Go ahead. So my mods will tend to get rid of people faster than I would. If they're just being political. There was one guy the other day, because I went vertical. Because when I go vertical, I try to do it on purpose. Sometimes my phone makes me and I can't figure it out. He was just being political, and I said, "Hey guy, we don't do politics here." And I started explaining what I was doing there and why, and he retracted his own statement and stayed and listened. So that's why I don't immediately get rid of people, because if you talk to them, because sometimes they're just being facetious, because you jump in their shorts feed, and I'm like, I talk to them, I say, "This is what I'm doing here and this is why," and then they're like, "Really?" Because when they first saw me, all they saw was some lady standing there talking. They have no idea what I'm doing. So I tend to on verticals, I tend to repeat myself a lot because I know new people are jumping in. So I tend to go over the same things so that they can see what I'm there for. Because you just see some woman standing in front on a street corner, you have no idea why she's there. So, like I said, so I don't need a lot of mods. If they're being gross, I can. I usually will do timeout, but if they're like beyond ridiculous, then I'll ban them. Yeah. And see, there's a lot of people like I used to be when I was bedridden, and I still can't go hike and stuff. Would love to watch nature and your hikes. Would love it. We live through other people now. We live through the screen when we can't do things ourselves. Okay, go see you, Bill. Okay. Yeah, you guys are silly. Oh, okay, now I'm cold. See, I go from hot flash to being cold. Can't make up my mind. Uh-oh. Pup's getting you. She is a wrench. Better look out. I can't hold her off. So better keep yourself in check. I forgot you were still here, Pup. I thought you and Scooter Mom were gone. I was like, go ahead. Internment. Oh my gosh, you guys, I swear. So yeah, I'll probably because we have to get there before we can check into the hotel in San Antonio. So every live chanter stands behind the Smurf behind the wire. Okay. So I'll either I don't think I want to go live because it's really hard to navigate. It's a very tiny sidewalk, and you have like diners and tables here and water here, and there's no railing. And every time I've ever been there, I've been amazed that I didn't get pushed into the water by somebody walking by. Because you literally, a lot of the areas, literally only you and two people can pass each other. It's this tiny little sidewalk all along the river, or it's a canal really, but it's part of the San Antonio River. They cut it to come into the city, and it's just really beautiful down there. But like I said, I haven't been there in years. I hope they haven't ruined it. So I'll either I don't want to walk and chat, so I may just do a video and then just post it. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Okay, Doug. Oh, I know. I should get off here too. It took me days. I know, me too. So it used to be I would do the Saturday night, then I would do I'd had to be up for the Sunday read. And so Monday and Friday, I was going Friday nights to the org. So Monday was off limits. It was my recovery day. Now it's definitely my recovery day because I don't get home from work till 7 a.m. So good night, Doug. I have to stay up because I've seen Tom where if he wakes up too early, like I have to. Well, wait a minute. I forget. I have to leave for work at 4:30. So I have to be up by 3, which means I need to be asleep by at least 9, more if possible. So I've been staying up till Tom gets home at 7, which is weird. It's kind of hard on me, but because I used to go to sleep around 4:35, but I'll stay if anybody else wants to stay for a little while. I'm not doing. We're at 3.5 hours. I won't go more than 30 more minutes. Mainly, it's my back cannot handle sitting here that long. Yes, it will, Tracy. And that's what protesting did for me. It got me outside where I never used to go out in the summer. Definitely, email me put your channel out. Do you have a channel? Put your channel out. I want to know. I'll sub if I haven't already. Because I would watch it. Because I can't go hiking. I would love to just sit and chill and watch somebody hike. Yeah. It gives you a little bit more motivation knowing that people might be willing to go with you. It's so weird, this relationship between us and chat. It really, really does help knowing that I'm not going to be standing there on that street corner by myself. I say, oh, if no one would watch my channel, I would still come. Yeah, I can say that, but would I really? I don't know. I don't know. If I didn't have, no, I could have somebody to talk to when, because I do get people stop and talk to me, and that's great. But there's a lot of time where that's not happening. And I know it's hard to watch somebody protest. It's not the most riveting thing in the world. So anybody that ever shows up at my protest chat is hugely welcome. And just really, that's why I always say, whenever I see anybody in any chat say, I can't protest because whatever reason, I'm like, it doesn't matter. You guys being in the chats, especially when we're doing something as boring as standing on a street corner protesting, is amazing. And I say that you are just as important as the protester is. Yes. So I used to be one of you guys early on. I was in the chats. I still am. I still go in other people's chats. If you notice whenever I'm there, even if I don't recognize a name that comes in and says hi, I'm always saying hi, welcome to the chat, no matter whose chat I'm in, because I know when people do that for me, early on when I wasn't as big a chatter as I am now. There's looks like a link to the patch. But yeah. So that's why when there was a lot of controversy going on and we were losing people, it really bothered me a lot that we were losing people that were in the chat. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, that's okay. Ooh, sorry. What was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. I might actually get one of those too. I want to put a sign on my wagon. Actually, I want to put signs on both sides of my wagon. But it's got to be something that comes off because the wagon folds up when I put it away. And it's metal. So I'm pretty sure I can just magnetize a sign to it. Because when I'm on my way there and I leave, I like my sign being visible so that as I'm walking, people can see it. So I've been thinking about doing that too. All right, Fraudy. I am here too. Soon too. Oh, we were talking about people in the chats. Oh, I remember where my train of thought was. When we were losing people because of the controversy between channels and stuff, and there are people that come and are in the chats that they're not there for that or here for that. And some people, a lot of us are more invested than others in this. And oh, cool. So we may have had just some very tentative people that were supporting in the chats that were like, peace out, I'm done, I'm out. And that made me sad because we needed those people. We needed as many people as we could get in these chats, and watching either the protesting, the content, or what was going on, whatever channel they were on, was important. And what I tried to say to some people that said I want to leave, I said, look, there's so many creators. You can find a creator that you like if you're having trouble over here. If you don't like somebody's channel, you'll find somebody that you do. Don't leave. I did say that to a few people. So. Yeah. I can hang all night now. Like I said, this is my normal schedule now. Before, this was unusual when I stayed up. I'm going to go too, because this kills my back, y'all, sitting here like this. Oh. And I need my back to be good tomorrow night. I got to be sitting and standing up for 12 hours. I wish it was only an 8-hour shift. 12 is hard. But I only work 2 days a week, so that's cool. I know, pup. I know. I'm glad you didn't. I know. I'm so glad people didn't, because even we can, the community is big enough, I feel like, in some ways, maybe not always. We can that's what I was trying to do, separate ourselves from those portions that wasn't conducive to what we were doing or our mental state, Good night, Minnie. Yeah. So I mean, I know it was probably really easy for people to disengage and be like, this is too much, I'm leaving. But I wish they would have stayed long enough to realize that they could have went and found what it was. Is those were people that probably didn't do as big of a deep dive as like I did, or was in as many of the chats as say I was. So I knew that there were other channels out there. Those were people that may only have ever watched one, maybe two people ever. Because a lot of people don't have that kind of time. They're like, I got an hour a week and I'm going to watch this channel. And then something happened there and they didn't know or understand or feel like going and finding another creator to watch in the movement. Yeah, and I'm glad for everybody that did. Because, I mean, any rough waters we're going to get beyond at some point. Oh, is she up now? Good night, Eric. We'll see you later. Really? Did he really, Papa? I didn't know that. That sucks. So I haven't had anybody like really attack me. I've been in chats they didn't know I was in and they talked about me, but I don't really care. All right. Good night, Hammy. I'm not exactly sure who you are talking about, but I kind of got an idea. But ooh, I gotta turn the fan on again. This hot, cold thing is driving me crazy. Oh, really? And see, I don't think that guy even knows who I am. So, well, no, because I was gonna go help during, but he may not even remember me from there. I think I was in Dusty's chat or somewhere, and I was joking. I said I'm trying to get on the bad actor list, but I haven't made it yet. Okay, I get it now. I see what you're saying. Just block them. You know, I don't know. I may have been like this. I wasn't big on Karen, even in high school. I had a really, really great group of friends. I really did. What my daughter had to put up with in school, I never did. But even then, I wasn't that stressed out about what other people thought about me. If I liked a guy, I didn't wait for him to notice me. I went up and asked, or I gave him a note. I'm like, I like you. Want to go out? I'm like, the worst somebody could say to me was no. And I didn't let that get to me. Some people take no badly. I'm like, oh, that just means, I'll find somebody else that's interested. So I had a boyfriend for a month because I gave him a note at lunch. Yeah, exactly. I do not care what that guy thinks of me or anybody else. Yeah, well, it did for everyone, Papa, but we've since gotten past that. I think, for the most part, that we realized that was just a bump in the long road of what we're here for. I mean, we're having fun tonight, and stuff, but we have an ultimate goal that I haven't lost sight of, and a lot of people haven't. And we're not going to let these controversies, bumps in the road, whatever you want to call them, get in the way. I'm not going to let it get in the way. So just don't let it get to you, and don't let them soil the I'm trying to find the word. Well, Papa, yeah, it did all of us. I was too. But I just didn't bother saying anything out loud. We should. My husband got an earful. Yeah, yeah, Papa, you're kind of one of the people we're talking about that we didn't want to lose because of the controversy that's one or two people wanted to start. But you're still here, or you came back, whichever. I'm hoping now that we can get some people to come back, but we don't know if they ever will. That's the thing about YouTube, is that, everybody has a different level of conviction, or what's the word I want? How much they want to be involved in the movement. They might just be a light watcher, that just is in a couple chats, learning about what's going on, and they're not full in. They've got their lives, they got jobs, they got kids, and then there's somebody like me that lives and breathes it. Cool. All right. Well, that's good. I'm glad you came back. But I know a lot of people aren't going to come back that did. I know. I know, Papa. Luckily, I was able to stay out of a lot of it because I wasn't involved in a lot of the channels that were. So I was able to stay back away from it for a long time. But eventually, I couldn't stay silent anymore. And I've noticed everybody's stopped being silent about it. Everybody got fed up, and everybody is finally saying something. And we're all the same. We're like, why didn't we do this sooner? But we didn't know where we stood in the grand scheme of it all. We were all these separate little channels all over the place, and now we're kind of more cohesive in that we don't want to deal with this crap anymore. So, but there's still stuff going on. I still see this person tiffing with this person and not getting along with this person. I can't keep track of it, so I don't speak on things I don't know about. Exactly. There you go. Exactly. It's not about me. That's what I try to remember. It's not about me. Right. I got to remember that my feelings don't matter as far as just because some other person wants to hurt my feelings. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what this is about. And I think I'm older and I can figure that out. I get that there's people that are in a different headspace, that are in a different part of their life, that may not be able to understand that yet and get very upset and involved in, whatever's going on. And it's hard for them to see the goal and keep the goal in mind, And I get that. I get that everybody's at a different place. Everybody's been through different things. There's different personalities, different thought processes. And I get not all of them are going to think the way I do. And I knew that coming in. I knew coming in that there could be things like this that might happen. And my first reaction was, all right, I'm going to stay out of it. Hope it resolves itself. Yeah, exactly. I like being part of a group. I like that it's a movement, but that's not going to affect me personally because I've always gone out alone. So have you, pup. And so we kind of get it. No, I understand. I don't talk about everything in my life either. I'm a pretty open book, but I don't talk about everything. I was like that on Facebook, even with my friends and family. I wasn't one of those that put my whole life on social media. I just never did. I saw there's people that put literally every single day everything that ever happened to them online. I'm like, and I like doing this, but I still am not going to put every little thing that happens on here. Ooh, that's cold. Yeah. But yeah. And I get that too. I get that we have a lot of people in chat that, I mean, like me. Pup, you have a business and you have people, you have your family and everything. Literally, guys, when I'm not on here, before I got the job, I had no life. The only people I talked to was my dogs. So my husband was asleep all day. My kids moved away. My grandkids moved away. And so if I'm not on here, I'm probably sitting and watching TV or in somebody's chat. Oh, yeah. And even when I really liked doing the fibro and chronic pain panel, because we had a couple people in there that were really overwhelmed that there were other people that had the same symptoms and felt the same way they did. And even in not even going that far, but I think, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think that's, we then tend to gravitate to creators and channels that are, we have something in common with, I'm sure. Actually, Papa, I don't. I didn't know that. See, that's stuff I missed. I've missed a lot of stuff that there's so much out there. No, I didn't know that. That's that's effed up. I didn't know that. Alrighty. All right. I'm going to, you guys. I'm starting to fade. So we've gone 3 hours and 49 minutes tonight. I had fun. I would leave if I wasn't having fun. So anyway. Um. Oh. 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 Wow. Okay. That I wouldn't like that either. Nope. That's not cool. No, I wouldn't want that either. I'd probably get bent out of shape too if somebody tried to lie on me or get me in trouble with the police. That's something I've always tried to be careful of. I'm one of those people that follows all the rules. It's the military in me, I think. But now I'm at the age where I know better now that when I was younger, I was always afraid to get in trouble. That's good. That would freak anybody out. Now I'm at the age where I don't care as much. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I've really gotten a disappointed opinion about the police over there. Yeah, that's horrible. We know they over exaggerate everything. So that's why I try, when I'm out there doing my thing, I try not to do anything that's going to attract their unwanted attention. Maybe it's not controversial enough for some people, but that's the way I do it. I think most of us do. So, well, I'm glad everything seems to have worked out. So, I'm fading. I got to get flat. I'm not tired. I'm hurting. I'm trying to find the time to get my craft room cleaned up so I can sit in there and film because the office chair in there is very comfortable. Oh, that's how you guys met. That's awesome. That's cool. That's good. Thank you, Papa. We like having you here too. You've been a regular for quite a while. Good night, she said. I'm going to, you guys. I've got to get flat because I've got to be up for 12 hours tonight. Yeah. We'll talk more. We're always in the chats together. We'll talk more about it. Yeah. That is cool. There's still channels I don't know about. I'm still finding channels that unless somebody talks about it, I don't know they're there. Good night, all. I've said it 5 times. I gotta go now. Good night. We're still doing the reading on Sunday. I'm trying to fit that in because I don't want to miss any more of that. So hopefully I'll see you guys when we're reading the book on Sunday. If not, we'll see you in the chats in the next week. Good night, everyone. Oh, next week we're doing conspiracy theories again. If you've got one, bring it. Yeah, good night, lurkers, too. Go to bed.